help. You've heard us talk with Pat Sperduto, and we would love for you to be able to bring some stuff by and help us out on Christmas morning, because we're going to be trying to help some folks out who can't help themselves downtown on Christmas morning. And if you've got, now this year you've heard Pat talk about, we probably should have Pat on right now. This would be a good time. Elijah, if you could go on and just call Pat right now real quick. Let's just go on and set the tone. All right, now we'll check in with him a little bit later as well, but see if you can get Pat on the phone right now. But we need new items because of, situation. We're going to be downtown. New socks, new hats, gloves, anything warm, coats, larger sizes, sweatshirts.
Yep.
Preferably darker colors. Anything like that. If you could drop by at 734 Envious Lane. This is where we're going to be doing our show today for the next 4 hours.
It's pretty much right off of I-40. It's very easy to get to.
It's right here. Right off
Drive
I-40.
out towards the airport, get off at Briley
South.
And you're right there.
Briley South, first exit.
Yeah. 215A, I think it is.
I wasn't going to go there. It's
215.
Actually, I think it's C.
Is it C?
I think so. Briley South, I think is C. I don't know. I wish you wouldn't have said that because I don't know.
Briley Parkway is
the
exit.
first one. It's Briley South. Remember, that's the key word, South.
And also remember Mercedes-Benz of Music City. Because if you put Mercedes-Benz of Nashville, you go to a different location.
Yes.
So
Mercedes-Benz
Music City. Think
of
Music
City. Right off the exit. You cannot miss it. This place is fantastic. And like I said, if you can pop in here in the next 4 hours and bring some items that we're asking help for, our man Edwin, he may come out of his office and hand you a pretty cool little thing. I'm just telling you, he's the Santa Claus here. Go look at his office during the break. It's glass.
It's stacked.
And it's stacked with
He's got
Titans,
stuff.
Predators, Alabama.
Now, Darren,
he's got the goods.
Were you in the pose that the guy, I don't know who he's got in the window there.
Yeah, that got me.
Was that you?
That got me earlier. Yeah, that was.
Look straight ahead. Was that you looking into his office?
He took a picture of me. He could probably change that picture out because that's what I was doing.
You could superimpose your head?
That's exactly what I was doing, yeah. I really wasn't even trying to hide it. I got drawn to his office, and I was like, whoa, look at this stuff. Yes.
It's a beautiful place.
It is.
I think we have
beautiful
Pat,
cars.
too.
Yeah.
Okay, I have not pulled up the phone screener yet. Is Pat Sperduto on the line with us?
He sure is.
Yes, I am. How you guys doing?
Pat, you need to come down here to Mercedes-Benz of Music City, man. This place is fantastic.
I'm going to make a run over there, actually.
Holy moly.
I have to go to the dentist today, so I figured I'll come there before the dentist.
Whew. Well, we'll talk to you a little bit later in the show as well, but, this will be a good time to go on and set the tone for the next 4 hours. Our man Edwin, we've been talking about him. His office is the goodie bag shop, and he came over to us and said, hey, if people are going to stop by, just don't be surprised. He's right here. He called himself the greeter, the Walmart greeter. He said he may greet you with a really cool prize for coming down here and helping us. So I'm just putting that out there. Those are not my words. Those are his. So tell everybody what we're looking for in the next 4 hours.
We are looking for large or greater size sweatshirts. They can be everything. Because of COVID, everything has to be new, which is kind of out of the norm for us. In the past, we just took everything that we could, but under the circumstances, I pray that everybody understands. We're just trying to do what's best for our city, and we're gonna ask you to bring go and buy oversized sweatshirts, large or greater sized. It can be anything. I keep saying it can be a misprint. It can be a odd color that nobody buys. It doesn't matter. We're just looking for oversized sweatshirts. We are looking for socks. They have to be new, either packaged or with a clip on it. Gloves, preferably larger size gloves, and of course knit hats. And I know everybody's saying, well, Christmas is going to be 72 degrees. Yes, it is, and that's great because what that'll do is that'll bring out more people
Yes.
who are in need.
Yes.
And Yogi's Pizzeria in Creve Hall is going to provide food, so we're going to be able to give them food and give them something that they can hold on to for Christmas, that in a few days, when it does get really cold, they're going to be able to at least make themselves a little bit more comfortable. And Mercedes-Benz of Music City, we cannot thank you enough. It's so cool that they got involved, and of course neighbors took care of us the last 2 Saturdays. We've been fortunate, and 102.5 The Game has been a savior the last 5-6 years that you all have been involved. And of course, Willie, you know how much I love you and your family, and Darren, same with you, and Lauren, and everybody's been great, and we are so grateful to everybody that's been involved in making Christmas a little bit better.
So once again, that list for people listening that may be traveling sometime in the next 4 hours out by the airport. 734 Envious Lane is where we are at Mercedes-Benz of Music City. Once again, that list of what we're looking for, Pat, is what?
Large sweatshirts. They have to be new. Gloves, preferably bigger sizes, but we'll take, as long as they're new, we'll take it. Socks, they have to be new, and knit hats have to be new. And we are going to put everything that you drop off to use. We are going to be able to make somebody's day a little bit better on Christmas, and we thank you. And it should be something that you should feel good about too.
Pat, thank you for setting the tone, and we'll check in with you a little bit later, okay?
Sounds great. Thank you.
Pat Sperduto, our buddy. He's the one who's been leading this charge for about 25 years in this city.
You know what I just thought of that would be cool is if somebody, like if he could reach out to, somebody within the NFL, and somebody showed up with a box full of, like, the loser of the Super Bowl or the loser of a championship game with them, like
old
sweatshirts.
shirts.
I mean, well, honestly, Chiefs 2021 Super
I
Bowl
wasn't going to bring that up with him.
It's funny that you said that, because yesterday I was actually going to use that line, and I was like, Pat is the kind that loves that. But I'm like, man, we're trying to do something good. Like, this is probably not the time to use a line like that, so I didn't say it. But I was going to say, hey, do you have any, like, Super Bowl champs?
Yeah.
2021? Or what was last year? Super Bowl what? I've lost 53.
Yeah.
Wow, I've lost track of.
So a friend of mine that I went to high school with, her dad worked for the company that did all the apparel, that did all the Super Bowl stuff, and so in his closet he had a Tennessee Titans Super Bowl 34 champions. Like, he had the shirt.
Really?
That what it would have been. So that's what made me think of that, of because usually they send that stuff off to things like this, to charities and everything.
Well, there is a little hidden secret that I've told you guys that we can't talk about on the air, but there is a hidden secret that's going to help out a lot this year, and I think it's going to be something that we will be able to talk about next year. But it's something along those lines.
Okay.
Something like that. That privately has been done because of this, but we can't talk about it.
So we won't.
But we still need your help. We really do. We really, really do. So this is where we are today until 2 o'clock, 734 Envious Lane, Mercedes-Benz of Music City. This place is fantastic, and we would love for you to pop in here and help out. We would really appreciate it. We've got a tent right out front. You cannot miss it. We've got the game vans.
Yeah, our man Junie's out there.
Junie's out there at the tent. We've got 2 game vans you can't miss, and it's right there in front. I mean, you just literally could pull up and roll down your window and hand something to him. I mean, you don't even have to get out of your car.
Jeff Kolb's here. He's going to go be unloading cars later.
If you want to pop the trunk open, Jeff Kolb will unload your trunk. We'll put him to work. He seems very relaxed over here.
Well, he's not here. Here's the thing.
I was going to say, he's in the wood chair. You got these 2, like, massage chairs.
Which, why aren't we doing the show from those chairs?
I don't know. Chase, I'll look at you and ask that question. Why?
Well, that's true. That is my
I was
call
like, why
now,
are
right?
you asking that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Ladarius, come on, man. Let's get this moved over here.
All right, let's come back. We'll talk with Paul. Hey, Paul. Paul Feinbaum next here on the DDC, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Quarterback sneak, and that's a Tennessee touchdown. It's a quick turnaround for the Titans as they look to get back in their winning ways Thursday night against the 49ers.
There's guys out there competing, working, and fighting for each other.
We'll get you set up all week.
You've got to be able to throw the ball down the field to keep a defense honest.
On Nashville's best sports talk,
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Trust the roofers with integrity. E2 Roofing is a veteran-owned and operated local Nashville roofer with over 90 5-star Google ratings and an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. While roofing is our business at E2, honor is our code. For roof repair, roof replacement, free inspections, or insurance claim assistance, visit e2roofingnashville.com.
Are you interested in starting your own business? Join the Blink Law Entrepreneur Summit on February 2nd for their one-day event to help anyone start a business. Not only will you hear from experienced entrepreneurs from a variety of fields, but all attendees will also get a one-on-one consultation with an attorney who will register your business. You will leave the event with certified documents and an officially registered business. This is a great opportunity for anyone who wants to jumpstart a new business. For more information and to register, go to facebook.com/BlinkLawLLC.
Treating erectile dysfunction with acoustic wave therapy has been getting a lot of attention lately. But you should know that some are promising results we just haven't seen and charging a lot of money for the treatments as well. This is Kim for the Tennessee Men's Clinic. And if you're looking at acoustic wave therapy or any option to help your ED, you really should call us first. Unlike wave therapy only clinics, the Tennessee Men's Clinic wave therapy protocols do use acoustic wave technology. But we also often combine it with other treatments that can give most of our patients far higher satisfaction rates. There is no surgery nor any type of invasive procedure required. And even better, depending on your treatment strategy and with our urologist and provider's guidance, you can likely have sex the day after your appointment. We even have other treatments that can help you last up to an hour. Plus, for a limited time, we're waiving our normal appointment charge, which includes a PSA and T test, and offering a free ultrasound, altogether nearly a $400 value for free. So make an appointment today. Call 615-208-9090 or go to TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. Visit our website to learn more, including side effects, treatments, extra results vary.
Free Beer Friday. ESPN 102.5 The Game's kicking off every weekend with free beer every Friday. Win free beer all day long from Joyland in East Nashville. Listen for your cue to text every Friday for your chance to win free beer from Joyland in East Nashville.
Anyone who has ever needed self-storage knows what a hassle it can be. You have to rent or borrow a truck and then find someone to help you move your stuff. And let's face it, moving furniture and heavy items without damaging them isn't easy. Renting the unit is worse. The hidden fees and admin costs are scarier than the dingy facilities you're leaving your stuff in. Why not use Closet Box instead? Closet Box is self-storage without leaving home. They'll pick up your belongings, store them securely, and bring any item back when you need it. The best part? Unlike traditional self-storage, you only pay for what you store. No paying for unused storage space. Closet Box's background check storage movers are licensed, bonded, and insured and will take care of all of the heavy lifting. Closet Box's local storage centers are temperature controlled and monitored 24/7. Closet Box has an A+ rating from the BBB. Call 877-233-5696 now for the season's best rates. Get $50 off first month storage using code RADIO50. That's 877-233-5696. 877-233-5696.
Hey Nashville, Vanderbilt football coach Clark Lee here, inviting you to tune in on ESPN 94.9 every Monday at 6 p.m. for the Commodore Hour, providing you with exclusive insights on Vanderbilt athletics.
Hey, Nashville, this is Sean Henry. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
All them dogs are counting down, about to put the anchor down. Hotty toddy, who's it gonna be? Cowbells and swamp.
Back here, Darren Donican Chase, ESPN 102.5 The Game. We are live at Mercedes-Benz of Music City today. And we've been telling you why we're here, to bring coats and hats and everything to help the homeless. But we say hello now to Paul Feinbaum, the SEC Network and ESPN. Paul, how you doing?
I am doing great, guys. Thank you for having me on today.
Yeah, always good to talk to you. So we're kind of in that, I guess the bowl season has started. We're all watching these bowl games, or using them as background noise, however you want to put it. But all eyes are going to be on the college football playoff coming up here in just a few weeks. But something that I wanted to bring up with you that we've talked to some different coaches about is how they're adjusting to this new age of college football. We just had the National Signing Day, the early signing period, NIL, the transfer portal, and the coaches have been pretty honest with us. Do you feel like with coaches you talk to that you're getting that true sense of how they feel about the uncertainty and the fact that there is, I guess, kind of the wild, wild west feel still with NIL and the transfer portal?
Yes, and it started really on signing day with Jimbo Fisher, who told us that NIL has been going around for a long time. It just wasn't legal, and I think coaches are being more honest because they really don't know how to deal with it. I mean, there's so many negative things happening. You guys are seeing it every day with with players opting out. I mean, really good players who were the star of the team not playing in bowl games. So. And I find a disconnect as well, in addition to NIL, in addition to the portal and all the things that we talk about ad nauseum. The season ends on that championship Saturday, and we have the announcement on Sunday, and it just kind of hangs in it hangs in suspended air for a couple of weeks. And guys, I mean, maybe the NFL has dominated because there was two Monday night games and a couple of Tuesday night games, but I'm finding it harder to put on these meaningless bowl games with San Antonio and San Diego State, games that unless you're betting, I can't imagine having much interest in.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. You just nailed it right there. I mean, I think gambling, that aspect is keeping a lot of these alive, and the money that I guess some of these bowl games bring in, but I don't see them going away unless they figure out some sort of regular season component to use them and to make that revenue.
Well, the issue is the playoff, and we got 6 months ago we were on the brink of a 12-team playoff in 2 years, and that blew up. And I mean, to me, that's the answer. Like it or not, right or wrong, and I know all these are issues that will continue to be debated. The idea of starting that playoff within a week of the first weekend in December, to me, keeps the momentum going. And I think ultimately that's the problem with college football is you have to try to remember when's the next really important game. Sometime next week. I mean, there's some good bowl games. I mean, there's a decent game tonight. But if you're in contention, how do you keep, three? I mean, can you? I mean, we see it enough in the NFL when the records of teams that have a bye week during the first round. It's kind of squirrely, and it's 3 times as bad here.
Paul, with some of these bowl games and the star players that bag out because they want to protect their draft stock and don't get hurt and all that stuff, and I get it. I mean, I certainly get that side, but then you have the team side, the coach's side, finish what you started. It's still a game. It's still something we are a part of. Could you see NIL playing a factor in that? Like, what I mean is a player signs a deal, and part of the deal is you have to play all the games that your team is in, including a bowl game. Could you see that being a thing in the future?
Yeah, if certain companies, like the ones that advertise during bowl season, stipulated. But I mean, listen, some NIL deals are national, most are local. It's possible, but like the running back from Missouri tonight, he's playing on a 6-6 team. He's got a good draft position. He's not helping it tonight, and I don't think you can make an argument that playing in that bowl game really helps. And I know I'm going against everything that every junior high and high school and college football player has ever been told by his coach, but professional football is what these guys are trying to accomplish. And if you go out and get a knee injury tonight and have to rehab for the next 6 to 8 months, you've wasted a lot of time trying to get ready for the NFL.
Talking to Paul Feinbaum. Paul, our perspective here as we watch in Nashville, you've got, we've got an NFL team and an NHL team. Both, you're trying to bob and weave through this new wave of COVID cases that are going around, and in almost all the cases for the players, of course, maybe you get mildly sick, but it seems like that's part of the strategy now. I see Michigan is going to take their entire team for a booster shot. You just would like to have your whole team for these huge playoff games coming up. I would think that that's something that's got to be top of mind for every coach.
It is, and I'm glad to see Michigan get with the program. I'm not sure it's going to help. I'm not trying to sound like an epidemiologist, but you need about 7 to 14 days to get full value of a booster, and that game is 9 days away. So it's
better late than never,
nothing.
I guess, right?
Yeah, and I think we all deal with it. I frankly think the game plan of professional sports and college sports is probably the right one right now. Is just deal with it, and we're all guilty. I mean, I walked in a room the other night. I was emceeing a banquet, 600 people, no masks, and I'm thinking, I sure hope this vaccine works. And I'm still here, so I don't know what else we can do. I'm not trying to make a political comment here, but we've all heard political leaders and and the Faucis of the world tell us the same thing ad nauseum, and people. Let's be honest, are not listening. I mean, you either want to get vaccinated or you don't. You have your specific reasons, and good for you. That's your decision. And I think college athletics is taking the same approach. That we've seen shut down. We're not doing it. The NFL has threaded the needle very nimbly. I still watched the games last night and Monday night, even though 3 of them were delayed, and it didn't really seem to affect anything.
Yeah, I guess where I'm coming from, if I'm a coach, is regardless of how you feel about the whole thing, if somebody tests positive on your team, you can't play, right? So how do I try to get through there? I guess I'm not 100% sure what the protocols are for each individual team, Paul, because I think that's the thing.
I don't think there are any protocols right now. I understand what you're saying.
So, how do I keep my guys from getting tested? Like, do I only test if they're sick? How often do I have to test? These are all the questions, because we've just seen the NHL go through it. They were testing people twice a day, and the more you test, the more chances are that somebody's going to pop up positive, even if they're asymptomatic.
Yeah, and let's just throw a scenario out there. You think Nick Saban, you see Bryce Young next Thursday night in Dallas sniffling. Do you think he's going to test him, or just say, Bryce, you okay? And Bryce,
I guess that's what I'm asking, because if there's nothing mandatory, then that would suggest that, hey, that close to the game, you're not going to test unless you're told you have to test.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of players in major games probably COVID positive, and I think the only it's like when we were kids and you got in trouble. Are you better off admitting it or just lumbering through it? And the only people that are I know that what I'm about to say is crazy, but are you going to sacrifice your season to be truthful? And a year ago it seemed far more serious. But today everybody probably is doing it. I think about myself. I had a test about 2 weeks ago because I was not feeling well. I was about to go off to the SEC game, and I felt like I owed it to the people I was with. And fortunately, I was negative. But how many people are going to do that though?
Right.
They could have afforded not to have me. Alabama or Michigan or Georgia or all these teams can ill afford to miss their key players.
Right. If you have 4 teams and they all have 4 different sets of protocols, from a competitive standpoint, what does that mean? These are all questions that I just have. It's because in the NFL and the NHL, for example, the leagues we follow, it's the same for every team. Every team is under the same umbrella for protocol. So from a competitive standpoint, everybody's under the same rules. But that may not be the case in college, correct?
I think you're right, and I know we'll hear a lot of window dressing from the coaches, but I haven't heard anything that makes any one team do it. I think if you don't show signs, you're probably not going to test, and and I think the same rules apply that have been in effect all year. Is if you're vaccinated and you're asymptomatic, right, then you're fine, and whether you really are or not. But I think we have such a high tolerance for COVID right now, where people. Listen. Nobody wants to die from it. Nobody wants to. People are, but if you're in an asymptomatic situation, how in the world do you know?
Yeah. Paul, we're sitting here at Mercedes-Benz of Music City, owned by Nick Saban. Their game, and believe me, you know it when you come in here, okay? You know his presence is definitely felt. Does Cincinnati have any shot whatsoever, or is it blowout city?
It feels like a blowout, just like I felt like maybe we were trending toward one again with Georgia a couple weeks ago. That's the game that unnerves me a little bit because, can Alabama play? Why would Alabama play to that level again is my question. They've only done it one time this year in 13 games. They have not had that many really good games. They played well in the early game against Miami. They played pretty well against the Mississippi teams. But other than that, down the stretch, they were all over the place. And I think Cincinnati is very good. How does Cincinnati handle the stage? It's a big stage for them. I know they went to Notre Dame, and that should absolve them of any concerns because that's not exactly going to a junior college for a road game. But I still think Alabama has so much experience in these games, SEC game, the game at the beginning of the season, all the past games they played in, and I know the players change, but Alabama will not be intimidated by that scene in Arlington on Friday. Will Cincinnati?
Yeah, that is the thing, Paul, and I'm with you. That's literally when I think about this game, I think of the initial part of the game because you're right. Okay, so they went to South Bend and they played a road game and beat Notre Dame. That's great, and that's a good college football environment. There's no doubt about it. But when you walk into that place, Jerry's World, where I've been, it's a little overwhelming just walking in there and seeing, that spectacle that is that building. And then when you see that 80% of the fans in there is going to be, swarmed with, Alabama stuff, that's got to be a scene, and it's Alabama. Like, you already have that feeling. You already know what they're about. They're Goliath to begin with if you're Cincinnati, and then you see their fan base, you see the building. I do wonder how they'll handle that.
Yeah, I mean, you can argue this anyway, and you could also argue that, does Alabama take this game seriously? I don't know. I mean, in terms of intensity for a game, I would rank this one behind the Georgia game, the Auburn game, maybe another game or two on the schedule. I think Cincinnati is very good, but the thing that always concerns me about Cincinnati is that they don't play this schedule week to week, and you could argue that a lot of teams in the SEC this year were subpar. It was, I mean, there were, but Tennessee was a formidable opponent. LSU played quite well. Auburn, Ole Miss, Florida. I mean, Alabama has just gone through this gauntlet. Cincinnati has played. We can quit using Indiana as an example. We used that for too long. They played Notre Dame, and they played Houston. Who else have they played?
You just named it. Well, there you go. You just hit it. Let's finish with this, since once again we're here at Mercedes-Benz of Music City, owned by Nick Saban. How has he been able to do this? I don't really think it's debatable. I don't know. I guess it depends on if somebody just really wants to argue. I think when it's all said and done, it's really not even going to be debatable as the best ever. So how has he been able to do this when most people would also argue that it's tougher under this landscape, right? It's tougher, not to take anything away from all the other legends and greats of decades past, but I don't think you can really argue the fact that it's also harder in today's college football landscape. How has he been able to stay at this level this long?
Well, I think it started from the very beginning. He went to a place that was traditionally great, but had been all over the place because of chaos and dysfunctionality. And he literally laid his hand down day one, saying, "I run this place. I don't want to hear from boosters. I don't want to hear from anybody else." And he went from booster group to booster group using very strong language. So he got control of the program. And then he built a great infrastructure. I know that you can say, well, this happens everywhere. Well, he's been there now since 2007, and he made Alabama great again. He built a staff that you wanted to be a part of. He lengthened the staff by bringing in analyst after analyst, which helps. I mean, when you bring in former head coaches, whether it's Butch Jones or Sarkisian was an analyst, or any of these guys, you have fresh eyes that can pick up little things that help you win big games. And I think he's been somewhat fortunate in the SEC that Tennessee has not been a factor during this period. Florida, after Urban left, has been all over the place. Those are the reason I bring those up. Those are East opponents where you have to beat them at the end of the year. And Georgia, Georgia's been Georgia. Okay, I mean they show up in the final game and then find some way to blow it, like they did in 2012 and like they did here. I think that's part of it. I mean, the national scene's been good. Clemson has been a formidable opponent. They've lost to them twice. There have been other programs, but ultimately, he's won 6 national championships at Alabama. He's lost in 2 other title games. I mean, that's just remarkable in and of itself that he's been to 8 championship games, and then he got knocked out of the playoffs in the first year. So that's 9 playoff appearances. We're celebrating Jim Harbaugh for making 1. And I mean, that is, the consistency of, I think it's just been, the fact that he's been an underdog twice since 2009. I know I'm giving you a lot of the greatest hits, but, and I think the most remarkable thing is he stayed there. Nobody thought he would stay there when he arrived in 2007. Nick Saban had always bailed out of places. And I think Alabama caught him at the right time of his life, where he was in his 50s into his 60s, and now he's 70, and he realized, why do I need to keep moving?
Good stuff as always. We always enjoy these visits on Wednesdays. Merry Christmas to you and yours, Paul, and we look forward to talking to you next week.
Thank you, guys. Merry Christmas.
Paul Feinbaum, brought to you every week by MTGRT.com, your live and local mortgage expert. We're here live at Mercedes-Benz of Music City, 734 MVS Lane. By the way, we did have a listener stop by and ask if we would take a cash donation. We will take, we've got envelopes here. We will take cash donations, and what we'll do is we'll use that money to go out and purchase these items that we'll be using to give out Christmas morning. So thank you so much for that, Mike, who stopped by and gave a very generous cash donation. So we'll be here until 2 o'clock this afternoon. Good stuff there from Paul. We'll come back more on the other side here on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
This is Ellie Tolvanen, and this is Nashville.
Tolvanen to score! Ellie Tolvanen, a laser!
You're listening to the flagship of the Nashville Predators radio network, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
It's the end of the year blowout sale at Social Furniture. Closing out on Ashley's Furniture with up to 70% off. First come, first served on the best selection of furniture. Social Furniture has truckloads after truckloads of furniture with 100 loads of closeouts, samples, canceled orders, and discounted orders of Ashley Furniture. All on sale here at Social Furniture. $300 nightstands, now $99. $1,000 Ashley mattress, now $300. $200 bar stools, now for $59. $1,000 sofas, now $499. And recliners starting at $299. The best part is there's no waiting. Take your new furniture home today with Social Furniture's same-day delivery. They have 12 months same as cash. Hurry up and come down to Social Furniture's end-of-the-year blowout sale before it's gone. Visit Social Furniture on the west side at 5412 Charlotte Avenue or on the web at mysocialfurniture.com.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 News Code Red meteorologist Dan Guthrie. Interesting start this morning, temperatures ranging from the 20s to the 40s, but overall cooler air will be blowing in, which means highs today will only be in the 40s.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Boomba
Bombas Craft Pizza and Tap House invites you to join them for all this year's college football bowl game and playoff action. Bama, Cincy, Georgia, or Michigan, who will win it all? Boomboss has countless big screen TVs and a huge video wall to watch it all go down. Enjoy their 2-time award-winning best pizza in America, featured on the Food Network, and 100% crafted for you. Wash it all down with their award-winning happy hour with $2 Boom Brews and select domestic pints. Locations in Bellevue, Murfreesboro, Spring Hill, and East Nashville. Pizza, beer, sports. See you there, Nashville.
Hey, this is Jared, the owner of MTGRT.com. Has your lender discussed long-term and short-term total costs? Our goal with our clients is to ensure that they make the best decisions for their situation. Strong analysis ensures you're getting the right loan for you from the get-go. Let us help you make your dream home a reality. Text me on my personal cell today at 615-969-2257 or schedule a time for us to talk online at MTGRT.com.
The devastating storms across the region have created a monumental need for blood to care for the victims of this tragedy. Now more than ever, find it in your heart to donate blood and help save lives. Blood Assurance is the area's local community blood centers, and they have locations throughout Middle Tennessee, including Clarksville, Cool Springs, and Hermitage. You can go to bloodassurance.org/schedule for information. Give blood, give local, save lives.
Jared Stillman.
It's kind of a big deal around here. Kind of a big deal in these parts.
And company.
It's not just the trust, it's the way he gets open and it's the routes that he runs.
Tune in Stillman and Company for your drive home. Delivered by TriStar Moving. Weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Interact with Darren, Donick, and Chase. Call or text the show at 615-737-1025. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
Back here on Darren, Donick, and Chase. We're here live at Mercedes-Benz of Music City, 734 Envious Lane. If you could stop by and help out, we greatly appreciate it. Brand new socks, gloves, knit hats, coats, larger sweatshirts, preferably darker colors. All that will help us Christmas morning. Really, really appreciate it. By the way, you can watch us streaming live on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube every single day. We're waving right now. Hi. Our video streaming is brought to you by the law offices of Amanda Gentry.
There's a very nice car behind you.
Yes, there is.
An old Mercedes.
There's a lot of nice cars all around us.
Well, yes.
Just saying.
The vintage one is pretty cool. So
no doubt. Our show is presented by Creation CBD. Creation CBD products curated for life. Does anybody think Cincinnati has a chance? Can it even be a game? Is it going to be a blowout?
I mean, I think they have a chance. It's just, they're going to have to get on them early. Like, there's no, I don't see Cincinnati winning, a close game necessarily. I think they're going to have to set the tone really early, and I just don't know if you can do that.
I think they're underdogs for a reason. I think they're probably going to need Alabama to be a little bit off.
Or a lot off?
Well, yeah, you need some breaks. That's how upsets happen. But I'm not going to rule it out. I think Cincinnati's good enough to make it a game. If they come in razor sharp and play a great game, they've been told all year long and really their entire existence that, you're not as good as these teams. You're not supposed to beat these teams. I would be using that as much as I could to try to get my team to that point where they can just play their best game and see what happens.
I think the matchup that they really wanted and what would have been a better game for them is Michigan. I think they would have matched up better with Michigan. But they got
Cincinnati?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of pressure on Michigan.
Oh, I think
as opposed to Cincinnati. To me, if Cincinnati goes in and gets whitewashed, and gets ripped, everybody, what they're going to say. Cincinnati's really got nothing to lose. Although if you're carrying a torch for the non-Power 5s, maybe that adds some pressure. But Michigan's the one that they've been waiting for this for a long time. You've got to come in there and play a good game. You've got to have a good showing if you're Michigan. It's not going to leave a good taste in their fan base's mouths if you go in there and lay an egg, I think. Whereas Cincinnati, you can say, well, we were the first team to make it. We were the ones that made it when nobody else could from the non-Power 5s. There's an achievement there. Making the playoffs for Michigan is only somewhat of an achievement. You're there, but your fan base, they think you should be just as good as anybody you play.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like about time that you got there. So I think there's more pressure on Michigan to play well.
Yeah, it's funny. If Michigan had not been in a position to get to the playoff and beaten Ohio State, then they're riding the high of, hey, they beat Ohio State, and Harbaugh finally did it, and that's their victory, that's their championship. But the fact that they were in a position to get into the playoff, if they go and just get throttled by Georgia, which I think there's a good chance of that, then they're going to sit there and the Ohio State victory just doesn't mean anything. I just think I think the disappointment would
hurt.
Be there.
It would hurt. Now, I think on that you might say that, but the reality is beating Ohio State. I hope
it's a big deal.
It's a huge deal.
It's a huge deal.
It's a huge deal.
But it's still kind of like it's about time.
Coaches get fired because they can't beat the other school in that rivalry game.
Sure, I understand that.
Ask John Cooper.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. But it's also
he literally got fired because he couldn't beat Michigan.
But there's a little bit. I really still feel like there's a percentage of those Michigan fans like, well, it's about time. We should be in this thing more. We should be beating Ohio State more often. So finally, we beat them. That does mean something for sure. But now let's turn it into something. I'm probably more intrigued about Michigan than any other team in the field here. How
the
they
Michigan-Georgia game?
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's
just Michigan. Just how Michigan plays. Win or lose, I just want to see how they play. It's also going to be interesting for Georgia to come back after, they've been told all year long this could be a team for the ages, a dominating team. Mm-hmm. And then, boom, you get humbled a little bit. How do you bounce back? How do you respond from that?
Is that line about right to you, 7.5?
It's a little bit higher than I thought.
I was kind of thinking 6.5.
6.5 is kind of what I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think it tells me the odds makers, they're pretty smart. They're begging you to take Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's telling me.
They're giving you the hook.
They're giving you the hook to beg you to take Michigan.
Yep. But I think
it's the dangle. It's what I do in Pick 6. They're giving you the hook, and Willie's staring at that hook going, 7.5? Oh, and Willie's not paying attention to what's over on the other side.
Sure.
He's just staring at the 7.5, that extra hook. And I think that's what they want you to do, and Willie's going, he's trying to grab it. And they're like, go ahead, take Michigan. That's what it tells me.
I could be being the SEC snob here, though, but I see Georgia's defense. I just don't see a Michigan offense that can do what Alabama's offense did in that championship game. If you don't bring it to the table against Georgia's defense, you're not going to score.
No.
They
can
literally shut you out.
They're going to be extremely motivated after the SEC championship game.
I would think so.
Huge. They will be.
Now, I'm just going to say this. I don't know what the protocols are, but the wild card in this between now and kickoff is what are the protocols? Because there's this wave is going through, whether people like it or not. We see it. We saw the Rams play last night with a lot of players out. Mm-hmm. Washington play with a lot of players out. That is going to happen.
But, by the way, who is that starting a quarterback for them?
Garrett Gilbert.
I
had to look.
No, who?
He was the guy. Double take. He was the guy on Hard Knocks with DiNucci. That he was one of the backup quarterbacks for the Cowboys.
Oh,
yeah.
They focused on Ben DiNucci more.
He got there on Wednesday.
That was to say, I don't remember him.
He was in there some. It was more Ben DiNucci. But yeah, he got there on Wednesday. He got signed off. I think he was on Dallas's practice squad. Maybe.
I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
I mean, I can read the name. I mean, I know the name. I can read his name. I just don't know who he is. I'm like, who is it?
Well, the bottom line is he got there on Wednesday, and he's quarterbacking a very important game for them last night.
Which
they
is
had
the
a
same
chance.
for the Browns. I mean, this is
going to
ultimately
third-string quarterback.
It's ultimately going to probably cost some teams playoff spots because they got popped with
yes,
all this.
And that's my point with these semifinal and final games. It is going to affect these 4 teams on some level. You have to hope.
You haven't heard anything to this point. Not a peep.
Well,
right?
JT Daniels is in the COVID.
Well, but nobody's been ruled out, right?
It's too early. It's too early now. You're still in a window where you could get it and then come back.
Right. Okay, that's fair.
If you're vaccinated, you're back in 10 days. So now we're sort of in the window to where if cases pop up, you're in jeopardy.
The
right?
22nd, so we're how many days away?
The 31st.
31st.
You're right in
so,
you're right
9
in the
days away.
The next few days are very, very important between now and kickoff. And so I think if you're a coach, this is what's keeping you up at night is what are the protocols? What do you tell your team? Right? Do you almost sequester your team to be careful because it's just so easily passed on right now, even for the vaccinated players. That's the trick.
Garrett Gilbert played at Texas and SMU. And then he's been And then he's been a journeyman, basically.
I just was watching. I was just like, I'll be honest.
Well, Clemson had to play without a couple key players last year, right? Including their defensive coordinator.
Well, last year's different than
last year was different than this year.
I'm not comparing anything to last year. I'm saying this year.
Yes, but just look around. Look at the NBA. Look at the NHL. Look at the NFL.
Yeah,
it's happening.
It's happening.
So if I'm a coach, I got to be ready for that. I have to try to do what I can. And you still, if it gets in your walls, as we've seen with the Predators,
I mean,
it's going around. You're going to get positives.
I just saw Adam Schefter's tweet that there are 19 members of the New York Jets that are currently on the COVID list.
Including their coach.
Yeah,
Saleh.
Yep,
just tested positive.
Yep. So they have a lot. So yeah, you're right.
So
like,
the line that is on the game now for the college semifinals, it could
change.
Subject to change.
Oh, I mean, if you followed the Raiders-Browns line throughout the course of the week leading up to the game eventually on Monday, it was – you talking about all over the place. That was a roller coaster ride.
Yes.
Browns by 4. Browns by 2. Pick 'em. Raiders by 1.5. Raiders by 3.5. Raiders by 4. Raiders by 1. Browns by 2.5. Oh, and finally, yes, it's not going to be Baker Mayfield. Yes, it's not going to be Case Keenum. Raiders by 2.5. I mean, it was every day. It was like you didn't have a clue who was going to be favored in that game.
So if you're Nick Saban, you're Kirby Smart, you're Jim Harbaugh, what do you tell your team?
Well, I
do?
Take my star players, and if I'm Nick Saban, I take them to the lake house, and I tell them to stay
Lock
there.
them in there?
You can use the boat, but stay in the lake house and don't leave. We'll Uber eat you some food. That's what I do.
It's real.
No, it's totally real. But, I mean, honestly, like, if I'm one of the –
you can't make up these games.
If I'm one of these 4 head coaches, I am preaching that hard to my players. And what should worry you the most is the next few days.
Yes.
Because they're going to go home and they're in family.
Right. And you're in the window that you can't come back. Unless the protocol – and that's that's why I asked the question to Paul about what are the protocols for coming back if you test positive. Are you asymptomatic? Are you vaccinated? All these things. How many times can you test out of it? Do you have at least some hope if you test positive that you can be back by and cleared by the 31st? And are the protocols going to be changed? The NHL made their announcement today that they're bagging the Olympics. We all knew that was coming. But then the next question is, are they going to adjust the protocols like the NFL has? The NFL adjusted the protocols, and you just saw what the Jets did. It still may not keep you from having a problem.
Yeah, I haven't really seen much of a change yet.
Oh, look at the Chiefs right now. They're getting
buried.
Yeah, I mean, the only name that I haven't seen that
Travis Kelce
you go, wow,
and Tyreek Hill
is Mahomes.
Tyreek Hill.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Hill and Kelce are on that list along with others.
They have to play without those two guys. That's massive.
I'm curious to see what that looks like.
If I'm being totally honest, it was hard for me to – last night just really wasn't –
It's tough.
I just was like Oh, man. You got to want Washington, Philadelphia. And with those lineups, especially Washington, it's like, man, you had to have fantasy implications or something on the line. Gambling.
Don't even bring up fantasy.
We had fantasy implications in the Rams game, and that
Cooper Kupp, he's my least favorite player in the league right now.
Cooper Kupp.
He killed us.
Yeah,
He destroyed us.
Did you know that? Did you notice that?
No.
No, okay.
No.
Yeah. Willie and I had a very nice lead going into last night, and Cooper Kupp
he just
destroyed that.
Cooper Kupp did Cooper Kupp stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, he
the
single-handedly beat us.
You know what else hurt us? And I don't think it would have been that big of a difference. We still would have lost, but the Bears scoring the touchdown on the last play of the game.
Yeah.
Against the Vikings. We have the Vikings D. They would have gotten through the game without giving up a touchdown.
Points.
We lost a few points on that.
Well, we left Kirk on the bench. He had 15.
Yeah, but
you
can't really look at that stuff.
I can't look back at that. We had good decisions.
Yeah, Kupp had 28.5 points.
Cooper Kupp, 28.5 points.
136 yards and 2 touchdowns.
He killed us. He ended our season.
And what's even funnier about that is who we were playing had the Seahawks defense. So you kind of cannibalized himself with that, but we still lost.
Well, I'm not going to feel sorry for you because I lost too. So
that's all right. We're all losers together.
You finished second overall. So
yeah, we did.
So we came out. We do get something for that, right?
Yes.
By finishing. Yeah.
No, you get definitely something.
Okay.
Something
good.
really nice.
But we had a chance
something
for a tie.
real nice. Get yourself something real nice.
Real nice.
Get yourself
Clark.
a little something.
After you buy all the dog food, get yourself something real nice. It's about time to be popping in that movie. I haven't watched it yet this year.
I haven't either.
It's been on.
It's going to happen probably tomorrow. Yeah, but here's the deal. I can't watch that on, television because I got to see the real – I can't do this whole edited crap.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the one-liners –
It's got to be right. It's got to be raw. You can't have it bleeped out or the horrible editing of filling in words, right? Because it sounds terrible. It's just
last week when we did our company party down in the den, they put it on. Now the sound was down, but I've seen it. Ryan and I have seen that movie so many times. Oh yeah.
Wait a minute. What? Ryan who?
Porth.
You actually watched the movie.
Ryan Porth has not only seen a movie, but he's seen it so many times.
Yes.
He can quote it.
Yes.
He's seen 5 movies in his lifetime.
Christmas Vacation's one of them.
Wow. So now he's got to the point he's seen 5 movies in his lifetime, and he's got one that he can repeat the lines?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
This is a development.
It was the scene where Chevy Chase walks out of the garage with the Jason mask and the chainsaw, and the neighbors have pulled up and they say, where are you going to put that?
One of my favorite scenes is because I feel like I've been there too many times is when Clark's at the eggnog bowl and he's just melting down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Ed, can I get you something? Refill your eggnog, take you out to the woods, leave you for dead. No, Clark, I'm good.
All right, we'll come back. We'll check in with our man Cameron Wolf. He's been in town this week covering the Titans-49ers matchup for NFL Network. We'll tell you what he's been up to, and we'll get him to preview this game tomorrow night at Nissan Stadium. We'll do that on the other side. But first, I'm going to tell you about DraftKings Sportsbook. Yeah, the official sports betting partner of the NBA, and they've got a gift certainly that will get your attention and put you in the holiday spirit. New customers, listen up. You can bet $5, just $5 on any NBA team, and if they win, you win $150 in free bets. Yes, if they win, you win $150 in free bets off a $5 bet. All DraftKings Sportsbook customers can also get in on the Christmas spirit with the holiday free bet surprise. Everyone will get a free bet up to $50 instantly as DraftKings gives away $10 million. Yes, they're going to give away $10 million. That's going to get you in the holiday spirit in prizes. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use that code 1025GAME and bet just $5 on any NBA team to win. If they do so, you win $150 in free bets. Again, use that code 1025GAME. this Christmas week at DraftKings Sportsbook. You must be 21 years of age or older, Tennessee only. Restrictions do apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and needs help, call or text the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789.
Take us wherever you may go.
There are 2 guys on my untouchable list.
Tune us in anywhere, anytime.
Every team's got those. That's my point.
Just search The Game Nashville in your app store and download today. And keep it locked on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
These are battles. These are grinds. We don't panic. We don't freak out. That's how we're built. 1, 2, 3, 9.
This is The Drive to the Playoffs. Brought to you by Coleman Tractor on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game in the Game Nashville app.
A short game week for the Tennessee Titans as they look to rebound from the loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday as they take on the Niners on Thursday. Here's what Tennessee Titans head coach Mike Vrabel had to say about preparing for a game in such a short work week.
When you lose late in the year, that's kind of what happens. And so you have to be playing your best football late in the year. We got a short week. We're starting today. We've obviously, the coaches and everybody get going. We got to get these guys back mentally and physically. This will be a huge week to try to improve mentally. We won't be able to do much physically. And you got to prepare to win a game against a great opponent, a great challenge who's won 5 of their last 6 games.
I'm Elijah Campbell, your Drive the Playoffs update here on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Are you a father that is passionate about your fundamental constitutional right to parent your own child or children? Has your parenting time or your income been affected by COVID? This is Amanda J. Gentry, and I am a fierce defender of your constitutional rights. The courts in Tennessee are under an obligation to maximize equal parenting time. We do not live in an every other weekend world anymore. At the law offices of Amanda J. Gentry, fathers are extremely important, much like my own father was. Go to AmandaJGentry.com or call or text 615-604-6263. That's AmandaJGentry.com.
312 Pizza Company is Nashville's authentic Chicago pizzeria, and they're now hiring. Work for a family-owned business and be a part of their incredible team. 312 Pizza Company is hiring for all positions, including host, waitstaff, bartenders, cooks, and more. 312 Pizza Company offers health insurance and paid time off to full-time employees. Contact Kimberly at 615-730-7888 or email at contact@312pizzaco.com. 312 is an equal opportunity employer.
Zines First is the official sign company for 102.5 The Game. Go to sfnash.com.
Nashville's best sports talk, locally owned, home of our Nashville Predators. WPRT-FM Pegram, 97.5 Murfreesboro, WBUZ HD2 Laverne, online at thegamenashville.com. We are
ESPN
102.5 The Game. Live from the Game Nashville studios, it's time for Darren, Donick, and Chase. With hosts Darren McFarland, Willie Donick, and Chase McCabe. On Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game.
Second hour, Darren Donick and Chase here on this Wednesday. Hope everybody's having a good day to this point. Darren McFarland, Willie Donick, Chase McCabe with you. We're live here at Mercedes-Benz of Music City. 734 Envious Lane. Beautiful, beautiful place. We're now joined Cameron Wolfe, a guy we got to know when he was here covering the Titans. Now he's covering this game, Titans 49ers, tomorrow night, Nissan Stadium for NFL Network. You can follow him on @CameronWolfe on Twitter. It's free and easy to do. Thursday Night Football concludes this week with 49ers Titans exclusively on NFL Network. Cameron, how you doing?
Good, man. How you guys doing, fellas?
You've been in town all week covering this for NFL Network. What do you think?
Oh man, I think the Titans really need a win. I think it would be something that would really ease a lot of people's concern here for the playoffs and for where they are. I think you guys talked about it at the top, man. They just got to figure out how to stop not coughing the ball up. They've actually moved the ball really well. They're just playing a really aggressive, physical team this week, so they can't afford to have multiple turnovers like they've had a lot in recent weeks.
What's your gut feeling on A.J. Brown? You think he's back in the lineup?
Yeah, I do. I reported this on NFL Network, but I was told that there's a good chance that he plays on Thursday. They feel really good about where he was coming out of the Sunday game, and they just wanted to see him practice for a couple of days and make sure he didn't have any setbacks. So my expectation is that he plays Thursday, designated off IR today, and then plays Thursday.
You're the perfect guy to ask this because you also covered the Dolphins. You know where I'm going with this. So there was a lot said about Ryan Tannehill. He got here when he took over for Mariota. Things were really good, and things have been really good. This year, though, it has not been the same Ryan Tannehill. He has been pedestrian. He's been average. He's been below average at times. Just not been a good season for Ryan Tannehill, and I get it. They're not protecting him the same. Derrick Henry's out of the lineup. Things are different. But overall, what do you make of you've got history with Ryan Tannehill. What do you make of kind of what's going on this season and why this is kind of the first time we've seen a very average Tannehill this year?
Yeah, I think Titans fans are seeing some of the frustration that I think a lot of Dolphins fans felt for 7 seasons. You know, when the team around Ryan Tannehill isn't playoff caliber, which is what the Titans roster is right now, just being frank, without Derrick Henry, without a healthy A.J. Brown and Julio Jones, it's not a playoff caliber offense. You see some of the warts of Ryan Tannehill's game. You know, I think that when he's at his best, he's able to play off the play action really well. He's able to be a really important supporting piece rather than being the guy that you need to win you the game. And I think that right now he's being forced into being the guy that needs to win the game every week with Derrick Henry out. So I think that's why you're seeing some of the quote-unquote average play. And I think, honestly, at this point of his career, you know, he's 30 years old, I think it probably is who he is. So I think for the Titans, they built this team really well around him. But when that supporting system starts to break down, I think the reality is that you have a quarterback that usually isn't going to be the reason why you win on a given Sunday.
As Tim Hasselbeck told us yesterday, and I agree with him as a former quarterback, not all interceptions are created equally, not all the times. Sometimes quarterbacks get blamed for interceptions when it's really not their fault. But with that being said, he has turned the ball over at an alarming rate this year. There's been fumbles, interceptions. Is that a problem that's haunted him throughout his career? We haven't really seen it a bunch here until this year. Is that something that they used to talk about in Miami whenever they had average teams around him? Was there also a turnover issue in Miami?
Yeah, 18 giveaways, I think, for Ryan Tannehill this year. That's tied for most in the league. So that's kind of insinuating your point. I think in Miami, the big issue for Ryan was that his pocket presence wasn't very strong when things broke down around him. So the pressure would come about, and he wouldn't be as aware. So that's when a lot of the sacks would happen. A lot of those strip fumbles would happen. So he didn't have a huge interception problem in Miami, but there was a fumble issue, particularly when sacks came about. So I think, like I said, when the pressure is, and nothing against Ryan Tannehill, I think he's a good quarterback, but I think some of his limitations are when the pressure's on him, when the team's focus is, hey, our main goal is to stop the passing attack, then I think that's when you see a lot of his weaknesses with pocket presence, a lot of his weaknesses with being able to really command the offense and lead them down the field for touchdowns in the red zone consistently. So I think fumbles and some of the red zone woes are some things that were common elements in Miami.
Talking to Cameron Wolf, and Cameron, the more I look at the 49ers and the numbers and how they've been playing the last 6 to 7 weeks, I feel like this might be the best team the Titans have played in a good while, or at least arguably so. So tell me what you're seeing with the 49ers in this run that they're on.
Yeah, they've been a team that's really turned things around physically. You know, I think this is a team that always has been a physical bunch back to 2019 when they won the Super Bowl. But I actually talked to Kyle Juszczyk yesterday, and he said they were 3-5, and Kyle Shanahan told them, hey, we're going to start we're trying to aim to run the ball 40 times a game. And that's when they kind of really changed their mentality. I think they're in the vision of what the Titans were early in the season with, you know, we're going to run the ball, we're going to play good defense, we're going to be physical, and we're going to out-tough you. So I think that's a lot of where they are, and they're getting really efficient play for Jimmy Garoppolo. We talked a lot about the turnovers for Ryan Tannehill. They're getting the opposite for Jimmy G. They're getting the version of Jimmy G that the Titans saw with Ryan Tannehill in the previous 2 years. You know, I think you're getting a guy who's not turning the ball over, who's being really efficient in the red zone. So I think they're a team that they don't beat themselves often, and they usually are in situations where they're up in the game going into the fourth quarter, and then they can just lean on you with their trio of running backs to kind of win the game. So I think this is going to be a very tough game for the Titans. This is a team that's red hot. I think they've won 5 of their last 6, and they've actually played really, really good run D over the last 6 games, and that's something where I was actually surprised to see the Titans have ran the ball actually pretty good without Derrick Henry. It's been the passing game. So the one element the Titans offense does do good is going to have a really tough challenge because 5 of the last 6 games they've held their opponents under 85 rushing yards. So it's going to be a tough challenge for Deontay Foreman and Hillard and the Titans O-line.
I'm curious how the Titans try to cover George Kittle and what teams are doing. They've got Kevin Byard. They've got Jayon Brown, who's a pretty good cover linebacker. But, of course, George Kittle isn't your average tight end. He's been playing outstanding ball.
Absolutely. George Kittle is in my opinion, top 3 tight end for like each of the last 6 or 7 years. And he's just consistently been there. There's guys who come in and out of that group, but George Kittle's like the stalwart. And he's such a unique guy because he's just as good of a blocker as he is a passer. So the 49ers really don't have to take him off the field at all. A lot of tight ends are just, passing guys, but that's not the case for George. So I think that you're probably going to see a lot of the safety spend time on him. Maybe you spend some time with Kevin Byard on him. Maybe you send the other safety down and kind of have him on man coverage with them. But I don't think you can risk putting a linebacker. I know Jayon's really good in coverage, but George Kittle's just too fast and has too much playmaking ability in the open field for me to see them putting a lot of one-on-one coverage with the linebacker. So the interesting part of the 49ers offense is that because they run the ball so often, a lot of their passing game is off play action. So Titans are going to have really good eye discipline to be able to, sell out for the run, but still not get beat over the top with the play action. And they got a guy in Deebo Samuel who's really unique in how they use him as a receiver and a running back. So there's plenty of challenges for this Titans defense, and I'm eager to see it because even though we talk a lot about this Titans offense and their struggles, this defense has been really good, and I think this is a good challenge to really test how good they truly are.
Cameron Wolfe is with us from the NFL Network. And back to the Titans offense for a second. I mean, you covered this team. You know that how important the tight end position was, whether it was Delaney Walker or later Jonnu Smith. How surprised were you that John Robinson didn't address that? And you're certainly seeing that catch up to him because they've struggled not having an effective tight end.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that you look at the offseason, and clearly they made a couple of splashier moves that they went all in, and they felt like those were going to be the missing pieces with Julio Jones and Bud Dupree. And, you've really had, mixed to poor results with those guys. I mean, Julio's struggled to stay healthy. Bud Dupree, wasn't healthy much early in the season. Now I think he's had a couple of games where he's flashed, but not anything consistent. So I think they decided to put their bucket into maybe those 2 main pieces rather than getting some of those supplemental pieces that we've seen them kind of do in the past. So it's tough because this is a team that has been good for so long. I think this is the 6th straight winning season for the Titans. They're trying to make that jump from good to great, which is very difficult to do. And I think they decided, hey, we're going to try to make the big splashes instead of the complimentary splashes. And, I don't know if that was the right or the wrong choice, but it hasn't worked out so far.
Cameron, good to talk to you. I know you got to run, but enjoy the game, and we'll do it again soon.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys.
Cameron Wolfe, NFL Network. He's an NFL Network reporter. Of course, you can follow him on Twitter at Cameron Wolfe. And Thursday Night Football concludes this week with 49ers Titans exclusively on the NFL Network. We'll have much more coming here on Darren, Donick, and Chase as we are live from Mercedes-Benz of Music City here on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Can the Titans offense get going and put them back on Santa's nice list?
He's going to power across for the Titan touchdown.
Or will Jimmy G and the 49ers deliver Cole for the two-tone blue this year?
Off out of the backfield and into the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers.
We'll have full reaction all day Friday to Titans 49ers on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
It's the end of the year blowout sale at Social Furniture. Save up to 70% off Ashley Furniture. Social Furniture has truckloads of the best selection of furniture. Get your nightstands, mattresses, bar stools, sofas, and recliners. All on sale now. Come first for the best selection of furniture before it's gone. And you don't want to miss out. Visit Social Furniture on the west side at 5412 Charlotte Avenue. On the web at mysocialfurniture.com. Social Furniture is a proud supporter of your Nashville Predators.
Do great prices and selection on trucks and SUVs still exist? They do in Truckville. Sarah Chevrolet Buick GMC of Nashville has the largest selection in Tennessee. And we keep getting fresh stock on our lots every day. We're committed to offering you our best price and a 5-star experience, which is why we're still known as the destination for trucks and SUVs. Come visit Truckville, Tennessee today in person or online at sarahnashville.com.
Here we are again, Finn, stocking up for the big day at Porvu. That's right, Jolly. 10,000 square feet of wine spirits and over 1,500 domestic import and craft beers with a massive array of canned cocktails. Porvu has an amazing selection. Porvu makes it easy to stock the sleigh with everything we'll need for our holiday parties and even last-minute gift ideas. But will it all fit in the sleigh? Not to worry, Finn. I placed our order on the online Porvu app, and I've arranged for curbside pickup at no charge. They even offer home delivery for the rest. What you getting for Trixie? Hard to find small batch, special selections, tequila? Yes, Trixie loves that tequila, just like Blitzen. That's how he got his name, huh? Ooh, party supplies. Everything for our elf soiree. And Porvu always gives us 10% off wine by the case. What are we getting the big guy? Well, after a long night of flying around the world, he likes to kick back with a good stogie. Porvu has a walk-in humidor full of fine cigars. Look, a tasting bar.
Porvu, Indian Lake Boulevard in Hendersonville.
Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey is the official whiskey of the NFL pregame broadcast on ESPN 102.5 The Game. Screwball is the original and most awarded peanut butter whiskey in the world. Made with real whiskey, peanuts, and peanut butter, Screwball is all natural flavor to be enjoyed as a straight shot, in an espresso martini, peanut butter old fashioned, or a PB&J shot with a berry liqueur. Check out screwballwhiskey.com/recipes for more. Be sure and ask for Screwball by name at your favorite watering hole in Nashville.
Enjoy responsibly. 2021 Screwball Spirits LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
At Houston Clinic Orthopedics, their physicians are specialty trained orthopedists that treat injuries and disorders of the upper extremities. Not all painful conditions require surgery. Therefore, their physicians look for non-surgical solutions first. Depending on your condition, you can be treated with a brace, splint, anti-inflammatory medications, rehabilitation, or if necessary, surgery. To experience world-class orthopedic care, visit tn.houston.com, where experience matters.
Free Beer Friday. ESPN 102.5 The Game's kicking off every weekend with free beer every Friday. Win free beer all day long from Joyland in East Nashville. Listen for your cue to text every Friday for your chance to win free beer from Joyland in East Nashville.
Tune in to Stillman and Company every Friday at 5 o'clock.
I am glad to be on this show.
To hear from Nashville sports media personality Chad Withrow of Outkick 360.
He's 6'4", he's 260 pounds, he runs 21 miles per hour.
Brought to you by Apple Collision Centers.
This could be the best game of the weekend between these two teams.
Withrow joins Stillman and Company Fridays at 5.
Happy to join you guys every Friday.
On Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey Nashville, this is Vanderbilt football head coach Clark Lee. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game, and the Game Nashville app.
If you're looking for a place to hang tomorrow, we've got it for you. A pregame show will be conducted from 5 until 7 p.m. And it'll be at Boomba's Craft Pizza and Tap House in East Nashville. Jared Stillman, Mark Howard, Forever Titans wide receiver Chris Sanders, who will join us tomorrow for Underdog Picks. We're doing that tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday.
Tomorrow's good.
Boomba's Craft Pizza and Tap House.
I wish everybody could have witnessed what just happened.
In East Nashville is located. Their exact address is 1003 Russell Street. Look, whether you're going to the game or you're just looking for a place to watch the game, that is your place. Our pregame show is brought to you by TriStar Moving, Parman Tractor and Equipment, FreedomTireGuys.com, FanDuel, E2 Roofing, Hillside Medical, which is where Elijah Campbell is right now, our Hillside Medical Game Studio, Social Furniture, and Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. We are live here at Mercedes-Benz of Music City, 734 Envious Lane. We'll be here until 2 o'clock. Thank you, Nashville General Hospital. The fine folks from there just stopped by. Junie, our man, is outside in front of our tent, or under our tent. He's actually not in front of it. He's underneath it. And he just told us that, and I went out there and looked, they just dropped off a bunch of stuff, and I mean a bunch of stuff. So we thank them greatly. Also, a listener right after them dropped off brand new coats, still on hangers. I mean, got some really good stuff coming in here, and we are going to put it to great use on Christmas morning. So thank you so much for that. Please keep them coming. If you're going to be out here in the area, we're out here right off 40, right by the airport. If you're coming on 40 and you get right off the exit, it's the Briley Parkway South exit. You cannot miss it. Huge signs right here. And you get off, take a right, and your first right, take it, and you'll be right in here. And if you could give anything, we're looking for brand new socks, sweatshirts, large, bigger sizes if you could, darker colors if you could, brand new gloves, knit hats, coats. All those will be accepted to help homeless folks downtown, people who cannot help themselves on Christmas morning. We're also going to give them meals courtesy of Yogi's Pizzeria. So any help will be greatly appreciated. And, of course, the folks at Mercedes-Benz of Music City have been nice enough to let us be here today and get the word out and have people stop by. All right, let's get to our Week 16 top 10 because, yes, we are officially now in Week 16. After the 2 games last night, we're officially in Week 16. It's not going to be for long because the Titans host the 49ers tomorrow night.
This was hard. This week was really difficult.
I'm going to tell you right now.
The place.
I am too.
I reset.
Yep, I did too.
I reset everything this week.
Yep.
I decided I wasn't just going to take my week from last week, and so I've reassessed.
I'm still kind of making adjustments here.
It's
I've got it set. I'm ready to go.
I basically did the same thing. I've
turned over a new leaf.
Yeah, I don't. And I struggled. I really did.
I didn't struggle as much as I thought I would. I feel pretty good about my list right now.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
But I've made some major adjustments.
Okay. Well, then, with that being said, I think
we're going to differ. I think we're going to differ.
I think we're going to be all over the place. So, last week I had Tampa 1. Willie, you had Tampa 1. Chase, you had Green Bay 1. Any changes? I've got changes. Willie, I know we probably have changes.
I have Green Bay still number 1.
You still have Green Bay 1. No surprise there. I, too, have vaulted the Cheeseheads. A win in Baltimore over the Ravens, and I get it, a depleted roster, but still a good win. I have moved the Packers from 2 to 1 this week. Willie, what say you? Drum roll. Elijah, can we get a drum roll? We've not seen the results, but there is a chance.
Can we get a Christmas vacation drum
There
roll?
is a chance that this is going to be shocking development. I guess we're not going to get a drum roll.
I do have.
It's on its way. The drummers are on their way.
They're bringing the drum in.
They're what?
They're bringing the drum in.
It's a really, really big Purdue size
they're bringing the
drum.
rum in. I would like
so. It takes a while to get the drum in.
There we go. Willie's number 1 pick is
the Green Bay Packers.
Oh wow!
What's the symbol? Is simple?
This is a never-ending
drum. You put him on the spot.
Okay, we're good.
They're working very hard to keep this drumming going.
Give them a break.
The cymbal has not arrived yet.
Keep going, fellas.
Only the snare drum has arrived,
Give
not
them a
the
break.
cymbal.
All right. So you had Green Bay number 1?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, folks.
You got to give it to them.
Well, no, you have to. Well,
you got to. We've been tip your hat.
We've been acknowledging Green Bay all season long.
I hope Robbie Stanley is listening.
But I tell you guys this every week. I had him number 2 last week, number 3 the week before. I'm trying to find my week before
but
that.
it's revisionist history. Early on in this, you were trying to tell me and the listeners, all of their faults and all of their warts, and you're not a believer. And we've come a long ways. Now you're a believer. They're number 1.
Hey, you're allowed to move up. You're allowed to improve as the course of the season goes along.
Yes, you are allowed to do that. That
You're
is
allowed
correct.
to do that. Good teams improve.
That is a true
and that's
statement.
what they've done.
Okay. All 3 of us
They've steadily moved up.
have the Packers number 1 going into Week 16. I'll just say this. I believe they're the team to beat.
The Green Bay Packers.
They're the team to beat. And I know you're going, well, you have them number 1. I'm telling you, I think they're the team to beat. The landscape changes every week. This is why we do this in the NFL. Tim Hasselbeck painted the picture. The Chris Godwin injury is very significant to Tampa. Did he not? I asked him. I said, what?
Yep.
Is this big deal? Is this not a big deal? Hiccup? He made it out to be a big deal. He's torn ACL. He's lost. Like, he is not coming back.
Leonard Fournette is out.
Like DeAndre Hopkins could come back. Derrick Henry could come back. And these are things that will help change the landscape of the playoff picture. He's not coming back.
Yeah, he's out.
Now, Fournette's got a hamstring injury, so
he's out for the rest of the season. For the regular season. They're hoping.
Right.
They're hoping that they
Willie,
could get
we
it back
know,
in the postseason.
Look, you're not
hoping.
You're not out. We know here you're not out very long with hamstring injuries.
Right. We know a thing or two about that.
Oh, wait a minute.
By the way, John the Mailman says, was it bad, Willie? Did it hurt you that bad? Go, Pack, go.
Yeah, you didn't really cringe or anything. You seem to have come around.
Look, I had him number 2 last week.
Yeah, I know, but it took a while.
I had him number 3 the week before.
It took a lot of browbeating.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Sorry, what?
Bill Blur.
Can I have some more gummies?
Wow. All right. And Tyler says Darren has Josh Reynolds at number 1.
I do not have Detroit in my top 10. Believe it or not.
I thought about it.
Even off that big win, I don't have them in my top 10.
Okay,
Josh
so
Reynolds effect.
Number 2.
Number 2, I have moved the Kansas City Chiefs to number 2 from 4 to 2. They have been on the steady rise. This team was 3-4 at one point this season. 3-4, and they haven't lost since. In fact, their last loss was against
Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee Titans was their last loss.
In Week 9, I didn't have them in my top 10.
You didn't have them in their you did not have the Chiefs in your top 10.
And now I, too, have them at number 2.
You also have them at number 2. Wow.
Yep.
I 3 have them number 2.
Wow.
I mean, how can you not? At this point, I'm not really sure where else you could put them. I'm trying to look at the first week that I had. I feel like I had them in the top 10 a week before you guys did, which was week.
You probably did.
I had them at week 12. I had them week 11. I did not have them in on week 10. So week 11 was the first time I had them in the top 10. That was number 8. I feel like I was the only one of the 3 of us that had them in there that week. So I kind of saw it coming. But now with Kelsey and Tyreek Hill on the COVID list.
But we know. I mean, this is the beauty of.
This is what every team's going to have.
This is why we do the top 10 because you do this and you know there's a real shot. Well, a lot of times it's because they're going to go against each other, right? You know somebody's going to lose, so it's going to change.
Yep.
All right. Look, even with the loss, I would have had Tampa number 2, but the loss of Godwin and the injuries starting to mount, you just know it's going to affect Tampa. The question is, how much is it going to affect them? Still not enough to push them any lower than 3. So I have Tampa 3.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
So you have Tampa 3 as well?
Yep. I just pushed them down.
I feel like if the listeners probably think we talk about our picks because I feel like we are too close, too much.
We don't. I considered moving them down to 4, but I was like, I'm just not. I think one spot is fair enough.
I have Dallas at 3.
Willie, he's still a Dallas believer. I mean, you had Dallas last week 5. I had Dallas 8. Chase had his beloved Cowboys 7. So you moved Dallas with that big win over who'd they beat? The Giants? Who Dallas beat?
The G-Men.
Wow, that big win vaults them to 3, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
Dallas is going to be tough.
I will say this. Whenever you say, like, oh, that big win, I just hear Floyd's voice in my head. Did we win? Okay. That's all I want to know. We won.
I mean, somebody on this list lost to the Lions last week.
And it's going to affect them greatly.
No, it's
going to affect them greatly. All right, number 4. Willie, who do you have at 4?
I have the Rams at 4. They've done some impressive stuff without a lot of key players, which tells me how good they
had
are.
one key player last night, though.
Actually 2, because
Dagger,
because one guy has to get him the ball.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
my quarterback.
I'm still pissed about Cups.
But the last 2 wins, I think the Rams are officially out of the slump. I have had them number 1 on my list. I still think they're a Super Bowl contender.
You had the Rams 8 last week.
Yeah.
I had the Rams 6. Chase, you also had them 8.
No.
I, too, have the L.A. Rams 4. You do, too?
So do I.
Come on.
Yep.
Really?
This team, when they've got everybody, this team is stacked. And I now feel like they've got enough even without, what does Elijah call him, Bobby Trees?
Bobby
Trees out for the year.
Robert Woods out for the year. Watch out for the Rams.
Yep.
I was just looking at Stafford's number. He only got me 15 points last night.
I'm curious to see what Stafford looks like in a position he's never been in before.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they made the playoffs. I think, was it once or twice?
Maybe twice.
Detroit,
maybe.
It's a different kind of pressure.
Yep. Okay. Number 5, Chase.
That is where I put my beloved Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, we're going to be different then. Good.
Finally.
Willie.
I have the Buccaneers here.
Hey, Tampa Bay.
I
think
they've got some major problems going forward here. Major problems.
Oh, they're dealing with injuries?
Yeah, to key players.
Oh, it happens to other teams other than just here?
Yeah.
Other teams get injuries? To key players? Really?
They do.
I thought it was only here.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm telling you. So some teams get healthy while the others go through this. That's what you have to hope for if you're the Titans, that you steadily get healthier after you've gone through the fire. Tampa is going into the fire right now.
Okay. You have Tampa 5. I have the New England Patriots 5. And you're saying, well, you had them 5 last week. Why would you keep the Patriots at 5?
Why would you?
And they lost. Yeah, they lost. They lost to Indy. But I couldn't make a case for somebody above them.
Okay.
Because I have Dallas at 6. And I went back and forth. Dallas, New England, Dallas, New England. I moved Dallas up. I mean, I had them at 8 last week. I moved them up to 6. I still think they got issues. Like, I'm still not sold. They got to show me more. I know they're 10-4.
That's the thing. They're finding ways to.
They're also playing
not very good.
They're playing some pretty crappy teams. You know, I mean, let's not forget on Thanksgiving they lost at home to the Raiders.
I
can't get that out of my head. Like, you lost at home.
The Raiders aren't bad.
On Thanksgiving, what? Yeah, they're bad.
They're pretty bad.
No, they're bad.
They're bad?
Yeah, they're bad. Yeah,
they're 7-7. That's not bad.
Do you watch them?
It's mediocre.
They're mediocre. They're a mediocre team.
You said they were bad. I say they're mediocre.
Okay, they're a mediocre team.
Semantics.
Yeah.
Semantics? Okay, so I get a grade. It's a C. That's a mediocre. Bad is a D or an F.
Well, they were bad in Kansas City because they got smoked.
Kansas City's pretty good.
In Kansas City.
C's good degrees.
Well, according to you guys, Dallas is pretty. According to you, Dallas is pretty good. Yep. They're 3rd on your list, and they lost at home to that team.
Yep. Everybody's got their one.
Oh, everybody's got their one.
They do. Am I wrong?
Okay. Who were the other 3 losses? Who did Dallas lose to?
Bucks.
The Bucks on the opening week where they played pretty well.
Right. They did. The other 2?
Trying to remember. Who were the other 2?
I don't have it in front of me.
Look, you just stick to your list.
I've got my list. I've got them 6. I've got Dallas 6.
Willie has already established he doesn't need
But
your
you're
sass.
you're saying you throw out bad, and 7-7 is not a bad record. It's a mediocre.
During the break, he definitely deserved my sass. No, he deserved it.
He did it. He didn't realize he deserved it, but he did.
They lost to the Chiefs and the Broncos.
Yeah, that's right.
Broncos at home, by the way.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
The Broncos at home, weren't they losing 30-0?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and they lost 30-16.
And the Broncos are 7-7. They can look pretty good sometimes. They're a mediocre team.
I think that was when Dak came back too.
I think you're right. He was back. He played that game.
Yeah,
they were awful.
That was not good.
Okay, so by the way, that Broncos is another. That was a bad one. Okay, Chase, who do you have at 6?
That is where I put the Arizona Cardinals. Losing to, not only did they lose to the Detroit Lions, but they were never in that game.
No,
that was embarrassing.
Nope.
That was bad.
They were not.
So they took a tumble.
They couldn't stop Josh Reynolds. I know that.
No, they could not. So they tumbled down the list.
I also have Arizona at 6. I think it's the same type of thing. I'm curious. They're teetering. I say they're on the verge of a fade. That's my gut feeling. We'll see if I'm right.
Well, if you've noticed, I have not said Arizona yet.
You haven't.
And I had Arizona 3 last week.
So did I.
Yeah, all 3 of us did. I have Arizona 7.
So you have the Cowboys 6.
I have the Cowboys 6. Okay. I have Arizona 7. But as we know, because we've already had this discussion, Arizona, it's going to change because Arizona is going to get a big win this week on Saturday when they beat Indianapolis.
Correct.
That's top shelf pick. I've already top shelved it.
That will affect our rankings.
Chase has top shelved it. Yep. Willie has top shelved the Colts. So we already know our top shelves for pick 6 tomorrow.
We've thrown the gauntlet down.
And yes, we're going to do pick 6 tomorrow. Yeah, Arizona
tomorrow
top
being
shelf.
Thursday.
Tomorrow's Thursday, Willie.
Tomorrow is
you know what? It's the 23rd.
It is.
Tomorrow.
Not Christmas Eve.
You know what else we'll do tomorrow? Silly underdog picks.
Yep.
That's at noon.
Got it down.
Thursdays at noon. It's not as much fun because the listeners don't have a clue what we're talking about.
Like I said, I wish that had been.
Captured live.
So number 7.
7, Arizona. So obviously you guys don't have Arizona. Chase, who do you have?
That is where I put the Indianapolis Colts. Notice there's a team I haven't said yet that I've been pretty high on, but haven't said them yet.
I have the Patriots at 7, down from 6. They're still what I think they are, a good, solid team that's not a great team. That's right about where they
Willie,
should
who
be.
do you have at 8?
At 8, I have the Titans.
Okay, so do I.
And hanging by a thread.
Okay.
I have the Titans
at 8. This is a
8.
huge test tomorrow. Test tomorrow.
I moved the Patriots to 8.
Patriots to 8.
Just got beat by the Colts, so I had to have them behind.
Right, so that loss puts them ahead of them? A loss at Indy?
Yeah, the Colts are ahead of the Patriots.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I did.
So I've got the Titans 8. Willie's got the Titans 8. You've got the Patriots 8.
Yes.
I have trying to look. Let me pull up the previous ones. I didn't have them in last week. When's the last time I had Indy in there? Have I had Indy in there? I don't think I have.
I don't think any of us has had them in there.
I don't think I've ever had Indy in. No, I'm looking. No, I have not had the Colts. I don't think.
Nope. Nobody has.
So I have put the Colts at 9.
So have I. I got the Colts at 9. First time I put them in the top 10.
I put the Titans at 9.
So it's interesting. We don't have any real outliers to this point. We all have the same team.
I
just
think
in a different
10's
order.
going to be interesting.
I'll bet you at least 2 of us have the same number 10. Let's see.
Okay, did you have it between 2 teams?
Really between 3.
Yeah.
Between 3.
It was tough.
It's a first-timer, though.
It's a first-timer. It's a first-timer.
I bet you we have the same one.
I do not have a first-timer. I just slid them back a spot. I'll just go on and let mine was between the Chargers and the 49ers, and I went with the Chargers.
Okay. I went with the 49ers.
I still think the Chargers are the better team.
I went 49ers.
So I took the Chargers at 10. I kept the 49ers out.
Okay. So they're all different.
So you went 49ers?
I went 49ers, and then I had the other 3 teams in the mix. The Bills, the Chargers, and the Bengals were the other ones I considered.
I like this.
I am
going to be completely different.
Jason and I did not even have Buffalo in our top 10 last
No.
week. You had Buffalo 9.
Yeah, I dropped them out.
They beat Carolina, and you've dropped them out.
Dropped them out. I just –
What? Say
they're,
it.
They're
paper champions? Paper champions? Yeah.
Can't run
Say
the ball.
It's okay.
Can't
Say
run
it.
the ball.
Paper champions.
Still a chance to make a run. Big one. They've got the Patriots here. That's where it's all going to go down.
Yep.
Beat the Patriots, and then we'll talk.
Then things will change. Okay.
I don't have the 49ers. We don't have the same.
We don't have the
49ers.
I'm going to create controversy.
Whoa.
You going Bengals?
No. The Miami Dolphins.
Oh, come on.
Stop it.
They've won 7 in a row.
No, they haven't.
They've won 7 in a row.
They've won 6 in a row, haven't they? They've won 6 in a row. Come on.
Okay, but it's still.
You don't believe that.
6 in a row? Yes.
No, you don't.
The game
They're
against the
7
Jets.
and 7.
Miami. So Miami
They were
plays the
one-
Chargers, they're beating them.
Yes.
If Miami plays the 49ers, they're beating them.
Maybe.
They got to play the game. They got to play the game first.
Well, they have another game that they should win this week, right? Who do they play?
They
this
play
week?
the Saints.
Saints
in New Orleans.
at
Well,
New Orleans.
I don't know about should. That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
So this is who they've beaten this
The
way.
next 3 are tough. Are obviously tough for them.
No, listen. This is who they've beaten. Clearly, you did not look at this. You just saw, they've won 6 in a row. Well, you said 7.
No,
They've beaten the Texans, the Jets,
Titans didn't do that.
the Panthers,
Titans didn't
the
play them.
Giants. Oh, the Jets again.
Yeah, barely.
And the Ravens. So they've had one legit win. And by the way, the Ravens aren't even – not one of those is a playoff team. Right? Currently, the Ravens are out of the playoff picture. 6-game winning streak against non-playoff teams. And you've got them 10.
It's my list.
It is. That's dumb. That's dumb.
You're dumb.
I'm not giving you a gold sticker for that.
I don't want a
That's-
gold
That's
sticker.
dumb. They're not the 10th best team.
According to my list, they are.
Nah, that's
6 in a row.
It's a dumb list.
Soon to be 7 in a row.
I'm just scrapping yours. I'm putting a big X through Chase's.
I don't get to do a list
Bad
anymore.
picks. In fact, I'm writing it. My comments, bad picks.
Okay.
Come on. The Dolphins are better than the Chargers. They're better than the 49ers. Really? Are they better than the Bengals?
I think they're right there.
What do you mean they're right there?
But
the answer is yes. You have them 10.
Yes. They are better than those teams.
They're better than those. Now they're
right
better
now
than
today.
them.
Right now
They're
today.
better
they
than
are.
the Bengals.
Right now today. And Tua, I trust.
Did you watch Tua throw the pick 6 to tie the game with the Jets? It was tight. It was tight against the Jets.
I did.
They barely got
I
through.
knew this would create
I don't
controversy.
believe you did. I don't believe you watched.
I did. Sunday ticket.
They were shaky.
Great thing.
I'll tell you this. I hope you're wrong, Chase, because the Titans are counting on a win against the Dolphins. They've got to beat the Dolphins.
Well, no. Tell us your. I mean, I just told you they've won 6 in a row against 6 non-playoff teams. So what's your love for that? What do they do? What do you like? Tell you. You've been watching them clearly. Tell us what you like. What do you like?
I like their coach.
You like their coach?
I do.
Okay. What else? What else you like?
I like Tua.
You like Tua?
I trust in Tua.
You trust him?
Yeah.
You trust Tua. Okay.
I made some mistakes, but it happens.
What else you like?
He is
about
playing
him?
better.
Give us your assessment. Don't tell it.
That's
You
all-
tell us. You've
that's
been
all-
watching the Dolphins.
That's all I got.
So that's what you've got. You like Tua and their coach.
Chase
Folks,
saw
you
that
cannot-
Christian Wilkins touchdown and touchdown celebration.
cannot
and said,
get
"I'm
this
sold."
analysis everywhere else.
Ryan just says Tua is Chase's new version of Teddy B.
He's taking over for Teddy B.
Well, we know how that worked out.
Is Teddy okay? How is Teddy?
Teddy's they're acting like he may play. I don't see that. Come on, he's not playing.
Okay,
He
I
went
don't
to
care
the,
who they.
He went to the hospital. He's
did.
not playing.
He did. But here's the thing: you win 6 games in the NFL in a row. Like Come on, that's impressive.
So you literally just looked at the standings and said, "Oh, 6-game winning streak."
I have been keeping up with the fact that they've been winning these games, and they had one win, and they've gone on this streak, and now they're at 500.
Who ran the ball on Sunday? Don't you say anything, Willie. Who ran the ball on Sunday? Don't be looking at your computer. Look at me.
I'm not.
Look at me. 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 That's an inside joke.
I can't remember.
Look at me. Look at me.
Mercury Morris.
Don't look at your computer. Who ran the ball and had a big You don't. This is so bad.
Who?
Don't, Elijah. Don't.
Said Ricky Williams.
Don't look at your phone.
I'm not
I know
looking
your
at
boy
anything.
Ricky's going to be texting you.
No, I know the guy's name.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't
You've
remember his
been
name.
You told us you've been watching them.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Larry Zonka.
Yes,
How many more?
There was a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yes. No, that is. He played for the Dolphins. He was a running back.
Crap. What is the guy's
Don't
name?
even know.
See his.
And I know the answer. And I'm not looking at anything. And he actually had a big game. He's like their fifth-string running back.
No, I'm blanking.
Actually, didn't they just pick him up off the street?
I think he started the season in Cleveland.
Well, he started the season. He's been all over the place. Texans, Browns. I don't know who else he's played. You don't even know.
I don't know.
This is so bad.
He's the key to their 6-game winning streak.
So bad.
Hey, I'm the program director. I put whoever the hell I want.
So
there it
that's your
is.
comeback to the PD.
Kiss the ring. What's that, Dennis? You want to see me later?
Duke Johnson.
Oh.
Duke Johnson.
Former Texan.
Great work. Yeah. Great insight, Chase, on the Dolphins.
Journey
Thank you.
man.
Thank you. So, sure, 10. We'll see. Who do they have this week?
The Saints.
What crappy team they got this week?
They're the Saints. They have Elijah Saints.
I'll just say right now, I think they lose that game. Wouldn't be surprised. What's the line?
Let me look.
I'm going to say Saints are favored.
What's the line on
by
the Titans,
at the Dome?
Saints by 2. Haven't looked at it.
You say Saints
by 2.
By 2.
Willie, what do you got?
Where is it?
It's at the Dome.
At the Dome. I'd say Saints by 2.
Saints by 2.
Survey set, Ladarius. What do you think? Saints by 2? Is that what you're going with? Survey says I don't need this promotion. I just need the NFL line.
Need a drum roll.
By the way, the
Saints
the
by
robot,
3 on BetMGM.
Saints
Thank
by
you,
3.
Elijah.
Wow,
thank you.
This is a good segment for you, Chase.
It's whatever.
Hey, they could win.
I'll bet it. I'll take the +3.
Do it right now.
Chase is going to come in with a Dolphins helmet on.
Lock it in.
On
Miami Dolphins
Lock
are
it
the
in.
greatest football team.
Lock it in right now. We want to see it. Lock in the Dolphins +3.
The over-under set at a delicious 38.5.
That should be a fun game.
Defense.
There you
Fun
go.
game.
Let's see. $1.
Lock it in. All right. $1.
$1.
All right. We will come back and wrap up the second hour. Third hour, we're going to talk to our man Greg Wyshynski. He actually talked about our show in his latest article on ESPN.com, which happened to be about our conversation with David Poyle yesterday on the show, because yesterday was Tuesday, today's Wednesday, Willie.
Yep.
So he talked about our interview with David Poyle.
And
We'll come back.
what day was the interview?
It was Monday.
It was.
It was Monday after the show.
That's
because
what threw me off.
David had a scheduling conflict, and so we taped it after the show.
He was.
But you would never know until you just now, made me tell the listeners that it was done the day before. Nobody would have known.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he spilled the beans.
You did.
David was buying his tickets to the Dolphins and Saints game.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Did you lock it in?
It's locked in.
Yeah. How much did you do? $1?
$10.
Did you really?
Yeah.
All right, we'll come back. More here on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Titans touchdown. Niners.
racing for 6.
Nashville's team is back home for a primetime matchup against San Francisco. Tune in Thursday at 5 for NFL pregame from Boom Baz in East Nashville as Jared Stillman.
They'll still have a pretty good grasp on the division.
Chris Sanders.
Tannehill can't throw interceptions. The one thing that they've done is tackle well.
And Mark Howard get you ready on NFL pregame. We are Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 News Code Red meteorologist Dan Guthrie. A lot of sunshine for us today. Temperatures, though, not going to do a whole lot. We are going to top out in the mid-40s with chilly times moving into tonight.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
This week in Vanderbilt history, November 27, 1982. Commodores 28, Tennessee 21. A game known as the Super Bowl of Tennessee and one of the most memorable wins in VU history. On a rainy day in Nashville, the lead went back and forth throughout the game, with neither of the old rivals able to go in front by more than 7. Vanderbilt's short passing game turned into a big play offense. Quarterback Whit Taylor throwing for a pair of 42-yard touchdowns, then finding Phil Roach on a 65-yard heave to set up the winning score. Taylor faked to Keith Edwards, then scored on a 1-yard keeper around the right end. An iconic play still replayed to this day. 5th straight win for Vanderbilt, which improved to 8-3 on the season and finished SEC play at 4-2. Coach George McIntyre's Doors capped a terrific 82 season in the Hall of Fame Bowl in Birmingham. Commodores 28, Volunteers 21. November 27, 1982. That's This Week in Vanderbilt history. I'm Kevin Ingram.
Joyland is a fun new concept by Chef Sean Brock, designed to spread joy. Joyland is the new fast food, inspired by Chef Brock's love for cheeseburgers, shakes, buttermilk biscuits, fries, and fried chicken. The burger melts in your mouth, the fries are crispy goodness, and the milkshakes are sure to satisfy any sweet tooth. Gosh, I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. Joyland is now open in East Nashville, serving handhelds, grab-and-go items, milkshakes, and more in their modern and vibrant space. Find some joy today and eat Joyland.
Hey, it's Jared Stillman. Guys, are you tired of feeling old? You know that feeling. You don't have any energy. You're gaining pounds. Well, guess what? My friends at Invigorate Health are the ones to help you. They don't just focus on one area of the aging body. They take care of all of it with so many different therapies that can restore your vitality and are designed with you specifically in mind. So give them a try. Invigorate Health, if you want to feel young again. Out in Mount Juliet at 615-288-4777 or invigoratehealthtn.com.
What's up, everybody? This is Teron Davenport, and I am here to tell you about Freedom Tire Guys. They're Nashville's premier mobile tire service. New tires, rotating, balancing, flat repair, torquing, they do it all. I can tell you this from personal experience. Just a couple weeks ago, I was at the Titans facility. They came there and changed my tires, all 4 of them. They did an excellent job. My car is riding extra smooth now. If you're in need of tire service, be sure to check them out at freedomtireguys.com. You don't see the tires you want, they'll go ahead and get it for you.
312 Pizza Company is the official sponsor and location of Southeastern Carolines with Caroline Fenton.
Robbie Stanley.
Maybe it doesn't hurt their bottom line this year. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen on that front.
Joe Rexrode.
5 guys who are on the roster are not going to be on the roster.
Get your morning started with Robbie and Rexrode every weekday from 6 to 10. Presented by Volunteer State Bank on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app. If you've missed any of today's show, just search Darren, Donick, and Chase on Apple, Spotify, or on your favorite podcast platform.
Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team. We take the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air,
Chase
we're on the
McCabe
ground,
on lyrics.
we're always in control.
Sing it, Chase.
Say Miami, you're talking Super Bowl, 'cause we're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number 10.
It's also the. Have you noticed that it's the Houston Oilers fight song too?
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
There's a lot of them that sound. Was that done in the 80s?
That's
like
probably
Superchargers, Dolphins, Oilers. I think they all kind of sound the same.
Well, no.
No. That's literally the same.
Yeah, that's literally the same. But that's like probably the 70s.
The Oilers and the Dolphins. That's
Earl Campbell, 70s.
Yeah, because it's there. And then the Bengals had one. They all had these cheesy fight songs.
Mm-hmm.
San Diego Superchargers was a little more upbeat. That's a little more 80s.
I agree. It's a little bit better.
San Diego.
That's a good one.
Superchargers.
I love that one.
Yeah. It's a classic.
It's like Earth, Wind, and Fire singing.
Is it really?
Well, it sounds like it. It's like that's the theme. That's the genre.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Back here on Darren, Donick, and Chase, our show is presented by Curation CBD products curated for life. Play silly underdog picks with us. We'll make our picks tomorrow at noon. You can play along with us. Weekly prizes. Go win tickets to an upcoming sporting event or concert. All you have to do is go to thegamenashville.com for more details and to play along with us. Silly underdog picks presented by Volunteer Hose and Gasket. Let's do this right now just for listening, just for being a part of us, being a part of the show with us today here on this Wednesday. Be caller 6 or be caller 10 for Chase's Dolphins. Be caller 10 for Chase's Fins. 615-737-1025, 615-737-1025. Call in on our phone line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, and you'll win a pair of tickets to see War on Drugs at the Ryman Auditorium. That'll be January 24th. January 24th. We're live here at Mercedes-Benz of Music City, 734 Envious Lane. We'll be doing our show until 2 o'clock here today. People have been dropping off items, and we really thank you. Giving cash donations, we thank you. We're going to go buy stuff for Christmas morning. If you have new socks, new gloves, new knit hats, new coats, new sweatshirts, preferably larger sizes and darker colors, we would love for you to be able to help us give these out to folks who can't help themselves on Christmas morning. We know, unfortunately, our city grows, that population grows. We need more items. We're going to feed them, courtesy of Yogi's Pizzeria. But we've had some really, really generous donations already, and we're just approaching the midway point of our show. We've got a couple more hours to go. We're out here by the airport. It's Briley Parkway South exit. If you're on 40, you cannot miss this place. It's a beautiful location, beautiful place, and we've got a tent right out front. You can literally just pull right up, and you don't have to get out of your car. No, we were willing to put Jeff Kolb at work earlier, but I think he left.
He's gone.
I think he left.
But the massage chairs are open, so I mean,
they are. They are.
That might be used in a break.
They look very comfortable. This just in. Looks like Elijah has gotten caller 10.
Very nice.
So good for him and good for you for listening. We'll have Greg Wyshynski coming up at noon. What is the one thing, what's the key to the Titans winning this game? The 49ers have been very good in this winning streak, winning 5 of 6. They're running the ball effectively. It's interesting when you look at the stats coming into this game. There's a lot of things they are right exactly almost the same. Points per game, San Francisco 25.7, Titans 24.1.
Yeah, and
points allowed per game, 49ers 22.4, Titans 22.1.
And if you look at recent games, it's much more in the favor of the 49ers for obvious reasons. The Titans are 3-3 without Derrick Henry. They played a lot of those games without other critical players, as we've been chronicling throughout. And the 49ers have gotten healthier and they've gotten better. Here's the key. Here's the biggest stat that I found today. Look at the 49ers defense against the run. It's number 2 in the league, according to Football Outsiders. It is really, really good. So it's going to be very difficult for the Titans to run the ball.
Are you talking about during this winning streak?
No, I'm talking about overall.
Because the Titans are better than the 49ers.
I'm not worried about that. I'm talking about the Titans trying to run the ball against the 49ers. Number 2 in the NFL.
Well,
in
I'm saying the
Football
Titans
Outsiders.
have given up a lot less yards rushing than the 49ers.
Yes, that's good. The Titans have had tremendous rush defense. I'm worried about the Titans doing the one thing they've been able to do on offense, and that's run the ball. I don't think it's going to be easy to run the ball against the 49ers. The 49ers stop the run.
Well, how are the 49ers better than the Titans when they give up 22 yards more per game rushing than the Titans?
It's not about the yards. with Football Outsiders. The analytics have them. This is Football Outsiders number 2, so it's efficiency, running efficiency.
It's not the eye test; it's the analytics.
I think the eye test you'll see that recently too. The 49ers have been stifling the run, just like the Titans have.
Yeah.
So this may come down to Jimmy G against Ryan Tannehill. So A.J. Brown is going to be important. Now, if there is a weakness on the 49er defense, it is in the secondary. They're not great covering the pass if you can protect the quarterback, and that's a big if for the Titans.
The key to me is you can't turn the ball over. I mean, that's what's been beating them. You know, they've had all those turnovers.
Okay, that's always the first thing you write down.
I understand that, but I mean, and you can
kind of obvious.
Well, okay, fine, it is, but that's what the games that they've lost in this stretch here has been because they've had 4 or 5 turnovers.
Well, are you guaranteeing victory if they don't turn the ball? If they turn the ball over less than the 49ers,
no,
or if they don't turn the ball over?
No, but I'm saying that it's certainly got to be part of your bullet points, your key points.
But it is every week.
Yeah. Take care of the ball. Right. I mean, Mike Vrabel said it as much.
You can write down if you turn it over, if you're -3
13 times, you're going to lose. That's going to be 3.
It doesn't matter
in
who
3
you're
games. You're losing.
I think it's a legit question. If the turnovers are even, can the Titans still find a way to win?
Well,
that's not a gimme here.
That's where I was going next.
Are very
I think
good.
A.J. Brown is going to be key because A.J. Brown has to get this offense going. They've run the ball well, you're right, but A.J. Brown is going to be the one that I think is going to have to kickstart this offense and make some big plays. And my hope is, one, is he healthy, and 2, is he going to hold on to the ball? The dropsies do worry me with him.
Yeah, let's hope he got out of that mode.
Let's see him on the field first before we're worried about dropsies.
It looks like he's going to play.
I think he is.
I think he's going to play.
Yeah.
What is the line on this game?
It's 3. San Francisco -3.5.
San Francisco -3.5. There you go. Shows you how well the 49ers are playing.
Again, the odds makers are begging you to take the Titans.
Yep.
Congratulations, Jonathan Grigsby. Thank you, Jonathan, for listening. It pays to listen to this show, and congratulations on being lucky caller 10, courtesy of Chase's Miami Dolphins. We'll come back.
Jones.
Greg Wyshynski. We'll switch gears to start hour number 3. That's next.
The voice of reason.
If I'm the official, I would send both teams to the locker room and say, this is going to stop.
The voice of the fan.
Our entire team's a mash unit right now.
The voice of Nashville sports is your home of Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
Gary Ashton here. Most people in Nashville know me as the don't sell without the intel and the guaranteed offer guy. But despite my accent, I'm also 100% guaranteed Nashville. I'm a guaranteed musician, a guaranteed dog lover, and you're also guaranteed to see me at every Titans and Preds game. Guaranteed offer means the Gary Ashton team with RE/MAX Advantage will sell your house for top dollar with no cleaning, staging, showings, or open houses, and give you up to 90 days to close. So there's plenty of time to find your next home. Guaranteed Nashville means my team lives here and loves it here. We've served Nashville for over 20 years, and we're passionate about helping the people we call neighbors and friends, which is why we've had a long-standing tradition of donating to the Vanderbilt Children's Hospital. If you're thinking about a guaranteed offer, get the only one that's guaranteed Nashville. Request a no-obligation offer by calling 615-301-1650 or go to GaryAshton.com today. Remember, Gary Ashton, guaranteed Nashville.
Mark Howard here to tell you about my friends at Apple Collision Centers. We all know being in a collision is not fun. Neither is all the stress that comes with it, and that's where Apple Collision comes in. Let them take care of everything for you. That's insurance, repair, and your rental details. They've got 3 convenient locations in Old Hickory, Hendersonville, and Gallatin. Their managers, Tommy Rippey, Daniel Neville, and Chris Brooks and Marty Denson, combined for over 75 years experience. So stop in today and tell them Mark sent you. Online at applecollisioncenters.com.
Make Smoke Token the only stop for your holiday shopping, offering the largest selection of smoking products and accessories. We are the only place you need to go. Located in Nashville and Murfreesboro, Smoke Token is here and ready to help. Mention this commercial for 15% off your purchase.
Yo, this is Justin from Music City Vintage, here to provide you with all your vintage apparel and shoe needs. We've partnered with 102.5 The Game to provide you all with an exclusive discount today. Come to our shop today, located in East Nashville at 2503 Gallatin Avenue, and say The Game at checkout and get 10% off your entire order. If you're unable to make it in, we got something for you as well. All of our products in store are also available on our website at musiccityvtg.com. Just use promo code GAME at checkout and get 10% off your order.
Nashville's best sports talk, locally owned, home of our Nashville Predators. WPRT-FM Pegram, 97.5 Murfreesboro, WBUZ HD2 Laverne, online at thegamenashville.com. We are
ESPN
102.5 The Game. Live from the Game Nashville studios, it's time for Darren, Donick, and Chase. With hosts Darren McFarland, Willie Donick, and Chase McCabe. On Nashville's best sports talk,
ESPN
102.5 The Game.
Third hour, Darren Donick and Chase here on this Wednesday. We're live here at Mercedes-Benz of Music City, 734 Envious Lane, and you continue. And we are eternally grateful you continue to stop by here and drop things off. We really, really appreciate that. We've got a tent set up right outside this beautiful lobby that we're in here at Mercedes-Benz of Music City, and every break I get up and I go over there and look, and there's more bags and there's more stuff. Thank you so much. 2 more hours of the show. Darren McFarland, Willie Donick, Chase McCabe with you here on this gorgeous day here in Music City. Man, it is beautiful here in Nashville. This right here would be the perfect day for the Stadium Series.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is kind of like Dallas, right, when we were there? It's like 50 degrees and sunny.
I think
it wasn't sunny in Dallas. In fact,
you're right. It wasn't. You're right.
A
that
little
was a good
cloud
point.
cover is not a bad thing.
You're right. That's a good point.
The glare on the ice can be an issue.
Good point.
The only thing that's the
It was overcast that day. Probably low 50s, overcast for the Winter Classic. But look, we got 2 more months before the Stadium Series, and my guess is it could be overcast.
Yeah, it could be.
Let's bring in Greg Wyshynski, our buddy we haven't talked to in a while.
I got to meet him at the Winter Classic. He came over to our booth.
Yep.
It was a good time.
You did. And I did too. But I'd already met him before. So.
Yeah, well, okay.
We're like, Greg's like old hat, you know?
Yeah.
It's a good old hat. Greg, how you doing?
I don't ever want it to be sunny again for an outdoor game because I think I've written the same, what will the sun do to the ice? Do the players have to wear eye black kind of story? I've written that at least 17 times, and it's not changing. They're not saying anything else that's new, so let's go with clouds from this point on.
Yeah, but I'll say this, Greg. If you're ever going to have a delay or just a big pause, Tahoe is the good place to be, you know?
Oh, God. Well, okay. Well, I take it back. That one was one I really liked writing because those idiots didn't realize they shouldn't play a hockey game under the direct afternoon sunlight in Lake Tahoe, and the whole rink melted. They were like surfing by the time they delayed the game. So that one was a pretty fun one to write, to be honest.
Yeah, there are worse places to be than Lake Tahoe. You know, stuck. Worse places.
True. I can vouch. That's very true.
As you know, in your article on ESPN.com, we got a chance yesterday. David Poyle joins us every Tuesday on the show, and we had our weekly chat with him. And of course, one of the topics that we discussed heavily with him was the uncertainty of the Olympics. And it looked, we started talking about this last week. And I understand the importance of the players, and I want it to happen. We all want it to happen. It's good for the game. But, as much as I didn't want to be the Baby Ruth in the Punch Bowl, I was last week going, folks, it's not going to happen. They're not going to the Olympics. This is going to be a pretty easy prediction. And, of course, as we've learned sitting here today, it's now official. They're not going to the Olympics. Are you surprised, not surprised? Overall thoughts?
No, I'm surprised, if only because I didn't realize that this variant was going to do this. 15% of the players, 50 games postponed. I just didn't. I think we all knew that a new strain was coming, but I don't think we necessarily understood how contagious it was going to be and how much of an impact it was going to have on the season. If you asked me a couple weeks ago if they were going, the biggest question was whether or not the players were worried about the Beijing protocols, or whether or not they were worried about having to quarantine for 3 to 5 weeks. And that was the question. And at that point, I'm like, of course they're still going to go, even if some of them decide not to. By and large, the NHLPA, those guys want to represent their countries. They'll take the risks and everything. But then to have it taken out of their hands by all these postponements, I mean, I was at the Board of Governors meeting in Florida, right? And when they talked about it there, it was not in the terms of we should be really worried that we're not going to the Olympics. It's just merely here's the deal, and if we have to pull the ripcord, we'll pull the ripcord. It all happened so quickly, and I think that's the biggest surprise.
Yeah. But as we've learned over the last 21 months, it can happen quickly. And unfortunately, it did. So how are they going to make up these games? Because as you said, there's a lot of games now they've got to make up. And I just have it's just a gut feeling, Greg. I don't think they want to play less than 82 games. That means the players don't get paid. So I have a feeling they really want to play these games.
I think
those
the
are
owners
paychecks.
Do too.
Yes.
I think the owners do too. And
those are paychecks.
Now we're starting to get we're creeping into that whole thing now in Canada, where all of a sudden they're not getting capacity crowds anymore. So they're certainly going to want to play as many home games as possible. So the way I think it's going to play out is there's still going to be an all-star game, from what I understand. I mean, they're going to have conversations about whether it is a good idea to bring players from all over the league into one place, but it's a pretty important event from a revenue perspective and from a television perspective, so I think they'll still keep that. Then you'll probably see a week off, and then you'll start to see games get rescheduled. Now, the interesting thing about that is that I do think there's a chance they could mess around with the overall schedule and move some games that are later in the season up to be played during the Olympic break, what used to be the Olympic break, just because of arena availability, and that you might not be able to make up the games that are currently postponed during that stretch, but you might be able to play some games that are scheduled for later in the season in that stretch. The other thing that I found interesting with your conversation with David Poyle was he floated the idea of potentially extending the season by a week. I did some checking in on that. I think that's going to be a little bit more complicated than maybe people think, insofar as the league now having two different television partners and, adding a week to the season pushes everything week for them. And that could really be a complicating factor that would prevent them from doing that. I think they're just going to take this break, squeeze in as many games as they can, and then just squeeze in as many as they can for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that complicates that, Greg, is like you're talking about going in. Now you're into May, and you haven't even started your playoffs. You're into May trying to finish up the regular season, and I'm sure they want to get out of this pattern of having shorter off seasons, and I understand that's circumstances have created that, but they'd probably like to stay on the schedule. It's already later than normal, right? It's already later than normal, and now you're talking about going into May, and you haven't even started your playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. And the classic problem for hockey every single postseason of my life has been they're playing their most important games at a time when A, if your team's not playing, you don't care, and B, if your team is playing, you still might care more about pool parties and the beach, right? And now if you push the season by a week, you might be pushing the Stanley Cup Final into July 4th weekend. So Good luck ginning up some interest for the Stanley Cup Final on July 4th weekend.
Overall, with this pause right now, let's now talk. Everybody's around 30 games or so. What's your surprise story? And you can name a couple of things, and it can be good or bad. How would you answer a very wide open question like that?
Oh, good by far is the Anaheim Ducks. I don't think anybody saw this coming. I think a lot of us thought that they'd finish last in their division behind even the Kraken this year. And, there's a couple of teams in that division, LA being another one, that has tried to find that sweet spot between having the veteran players still playing well and then having the next wave of young players contribute at the same time. And Anaheim found that sweet spot. And it just goes to show you that all it takes is a couple of young guys to really infuse a team with a different vibe and personality. And what Trevor Zegras has done with that team, not only with the goalie setup, but just his overall comportment and becoming like a young social media star, has really reinvigorated that franchise in a way that I don't think a lot of us anticipated. And as obviously on the negative side, I mean, the Islanders are a disaster. I really feel bad that they had to start their season with that many road games, but that shouldn't be an excuse for them kind of falling apart and not playing with their identity and not really being able to find a way to find their footing. I cringe when I admit that I had that team winning the Stanley Cup. I will now, going forward, say that I predicted that they would watch the Stanley Cup Finals from the comfort of their living room.
We're talking to Greg Wyshynski from ESPN.com. Greg, I'm curious about a question, and I've been trying to ask around on this, and it seems like there's a lot of discussion about it. The NFL looks like they're adjusting their protocols. I just saw a story come up today. The ACC basketball as a league has adjusted their protocols. So we know this wave is just hitting, right? It's just hit. It's probably going to hit a number of other teams along the way that haven't been hit yet. So do you foresee a change in the protocols with the very, very heavy testing that they're doing right now? And what kind of procedural things have to get done in order to do that?
Well, it's a great question. So we wrote a piece on this yesterday, and I'll tweet it out again for the folks that might have missed it. There's a lot going on, obviously, yesterday. But you have kind of two competing thoughts here. You have the players that are casting a jealous eye at the NFL and how the NFL is now not testing asymptomatic vaccinated players, and how the NFL is now focusing on more the point at which you are not contagious versus the point at which you stop testing positive, which is a material shift for a lot any league away from the current the assumed policies for COVID that we've had in place for a year and a half. The problem is, and an epidemiologist I talked to kind of underscored this, is that the NHL and the players could want to do a lot of things, right? The problem is that they're, at the end of the day, at the will of the municipalities, the local rules, the federal government rules. And when you start talking about that, you have to focus in on the Canadian teams and the border issue.
Yes.
And I just cannot see a way forward where they dial back their testing when, in fact, the NHL has ratcheted up their testing to being daily again. I don't see a way they dial back their testing at a time when Canada is going to start to really kind of examine the border again and create new protocols for getting in and out of the country. It just seems it's going to run counterintuitive to what the governments are going to be doing. Even if, again, I'm not saying that there's a right answer, but there definitely is, according to the people I've spoken to, a case to be made for if you're young and you're vaccinated and you're healthy and you're asymptomatic, that you shouldn't necessarily be kept out of the lineup as long as these players are being kept out of the lineup these days.
Do they at least need to go back to maybe a taxi squad or have more available players on hand in case you get hit with it? Because there's a whole nother set of consequences for that, right, with the salary cap and everything like that.
Yeah, that's the issue right there. And I've made that argument to a number of people, including some league executives, the idea that you have people paying extraordinarily large amounts of money to watch this product, and they're like guys that they've never heard of playing on the second line. And
yeah, or the other thing is 15 or 16 skaters, which is what we saw the Avalanche deal with.
Or, the backup goalie is like a plumber at the local community college, like that kind of thing. So,
that happened.
I was going to say here.
Yeah,
that just happened here in the Colorado game.
So there's a ton of issues, and you're right, but you're right about the biggest issue being the cap implications. I mean, when I asked somebody the other day on the league level about the taxi squad, they're like, "Hey, great idea. Who's going to pay for the players?" And what does it mean for the cap, and what does it mean for escrow? And there's all these other questions that surround the taxi squad that are inherent as to why the NHL and the NHLPA decided not to bring it back for this season. But again, they made that decision at a time when we didn't even know that we had gotten to this part of the Greek alphabet, right? With the COVID.
Yeah.
So, at some point, you got to kind of change your tactics and understand what needs to be done. Because I agree with you, man. Having a taxi squad available to make sure that you aren't playing with only 15 guys, I think is a pretty important thing going forward for the season.
New Year's Eve, Texas A&M and Wake Forest are scheduled to play at the Gator Bowl. There's a lot of reports swirling right now here in the last couple minutes. A&M outbreak, COVID outbreak. Looks like they're getting ready to get bagged from that bowl.
Yeah, it's
and they're looking for a replacement. I don't even. How do you? How do you find a replacement
Good luck.
team?
Good luck.
It's
Not gonna happen.
December 22nd. Wait, hey, you want to play Wake
Vanderbilt, come on down.
Hey, listen. I mean, I might have a suggestion. You know, as a New York Jets fan.
Actually, no, they've got a COVID outbreak too.
Well, I mean, it's good to see them catch something this year, right?
Wow! Wow! Hello,
Greg. I want to ask you one fun one that you've written about. Cause
new show at 1 o'clock.
The 3-on-3 in the NHL, the overtime. You're saying it's getting a little too boring for you.
Well, I mean, it still has its moments. It still has its moments, but it still also has a lot of games where teams are playing way too cautiously. And this was a column I wrote last week, and you can still find it on ESPN.com. I saw it. You know, I saw it happening more and more, and I wanted to kind of dive into the numbers and see if what I was seeing held up to the stats test, and it did. If you look at the numbers for the last two seasons, we are down significantly insofar as shot attempts per 60 minutes and shots per 60 minutes in overtime. The overtimes are lasting longer because teams are playing more tentatively. It's not to say that we still don't get those moments of absolute mayhem where one team misses a shot, the other team comes back down the other way on a break, and it's awesome. I think 3-on-3 is just built for that to happen on occasion, but teams are definitely approaching it much more conservatively, and it goes back to when we adopted 3-on-3, where you had coaches saying at the time, and GM saying at the time, look, they're going to find a way to coach the fun out of this thing at some point. And it's just taken a few years for it to happen, but I feel like it's starting to happen. And there are ways to fix it. I mean, you can do a sort of an over and back kind of violation if you go back over your own blue line. You could do a
I
shot
like
clock.
that. The shot clock is an interesting one, yeah.
Yeah. There's a ton of ways to make sure that this doesn't get stale. And I think the best way would be to expand it to like 10 minutes to make sure you don't go to the shootout. But I love it so much. And here's my thing, boys. I want it to be good when we get to a point where I can bet on it in the 3 minutes between regulation and 3-on-3, like bet on who's going to have the game-winning goal. I need to be able to do that, and if I'm going to be able to do that, I need 3-on-3 to not be terrible and to still exist. So let's hope that they fix it.
I'm with you on that one, Greg. Greg Wyshynski with us from ESPN. So to ask you a couple questions on the Predators. You talk about surprises. I have to assume that they are a surprising team for you to see what they've done. They've won 7 in a row, but Roman Josi is obviously in the Norris discussion, and UC Saros in the Vezina early on. Would you agree with that?
Oh, I definitely agree with both of those. I mean, in Yosi's case, he's keeping up the close to point per game pace. He's been great. I think he's definitely in that conversation. I mean, if you're talking surprises, obviously there's only one surprise I think the media outside of Nashville has focused on, and that's the resurrection of Matt Duchene, for lack of a better term, as a salient, impactful scorer in this league. It's been great to see. I've always liked Duchene, and to see him play as well as he has, and to see him play a role on a line as good as it's been when it's been together this season, I think has been really fun to see.
Well, do people view Johansson in the same light? Because it's kind of been the same thing for him. I know he's not necessarily the goal scorer that Duchene is, but he's already got more goals than he's had in a while with 8 and 24 points, so he's right there with Duchene, point-wise.
Look, we can't pay attention to more than one center at a time. So we're very happy that Duchene came back. Eventually, we'll probably figure out that Johansson came back too, and he's having a good season. But right now, our focus is on the other guy.
So I'll ask you the question that I promise not to ask David Poyle every week. What do you think happens with Forsberg?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, there's a part of me that thinks that if they're not committed, that they'll move him, right? But there's also a part of me that thinks that if you're Nashville and you want to, shoot your shot as a potential playoff team, and right now there's no reason to believe they won't be with the way that they've been playing, you kind of want to keep them around. So I don't know. I don't blame you for not asking Poyle, because I don't know what his answer would be either, other than to just shut you down and say we'll deal with it when it happens. But it's a conundrum.
We ask. Yeah, we just
at least every other week.
Yeah, well, he gives GM answers. What is he supposed to say? There's nothing new. But we got to ask. You never know, right? I mean, David's given us stuff before, but I don't think he's going to plop that one in our lap. We don't think.
Yeah, well,
but you never know.
Again, like I think they're a better team with him around, and plus, like I think David Foyle more than anyone should know you don't trade Forsberg at the trade deadline. Bad things happen.
Okay, you going to give him a max deal? 8 years? See, I mean, you're taking the easy way out. Like, let's ask the real questions. Like, of course, everybody wants him to be around. That gives them their best shot. But you going to give him a max deal? You giving him 8 years? Let's say $8 million a year. 8 for 8.
8 for 8 is about what it's going to be. And I guess it's just whether or not you believe enough in the player. And I do. So I guess you do it. But I don't know. I mean, at the same time, if somebody came and blew you away with something and you could get a couple pieces for him, it'd be hard not to say no, right?
It is the question around here. What's going to happen? By the way, he does have a great line. It is a great line, and I'll butcher. So you guys help me. What is it? We're close. If we can just get the years and the number right.
The years and the money right.
The years and the money right. We'll have this thing finished up, wrapped up. So it's a really good line.
It's a great line, and I would love to know how Forsberg's camp would interpret the rightness of the numbers and the years.
Yeah, well, clearly I don't think they're that close, or we would have something on that front. But hey, really appreciate it as always. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you and yours, and we look forward to talking to you soon.
Awesome. Thanks again, and Happy Holidays, everybody.
Greg Wyshynski, ESPN, ESPN.com, does great stuff. In fact, you can see him on Daily Wager. He threw in a little Daily Wager talk right there.
Yes, he did.
Wanting to bet on it. So he does make appearances on there, gives some hockey picks, and we do appreciate him joining us. I'm going to talk to you right now about my friends at Cool Springs MD. You've heard me talk about them for years because I've been going there for years, and they've been helping me for years. And why wouldn't you keep going to a place that helps you improve your quality of life, that helps you become healthier and happier? I know it's what I want, and I hope you would want the same. And I know you do because a lot of you have gone to Cool Springs MD. And they do a lot of things under one roof, whether it's Dr. Jeffrey Lodge, the board-certified physician, his wife, Daphne, the registered nurse, or their very experienced staff. They've got a lot of people there on hand who can help you in a lot of things. Weight loss management is important to them, and it should be important to you, and we know it's tough. It's a constant struggle as we're adults, and they've got programs and products and people that can get you back on track and headed in the right direction. Rejuvenation, your appearance is important, or at least it should be, and it's tougher. It gets tougher. It gets more challenging as we age. Well, their staff can sit down with you and talk about PRP, hair removal, Botox, and finally hormone therapy. Did you know? Have you ever had your levels checked? Did you know that they dip when you get older? You know that can affect your drive. It can affect your energy. It can affect your mood. If something like that is happening to you and you feel a little bit off, you should go in there and talk to them about that because they'll discuss BHRT, testosterone, estrogen. They do it all under one roof there in Cool Springs at 1642 Westgate Circle. If you want to learn everything about them, just go to their website, coolspringsmd.com, or you can always pick up the phone and schedule an appointment or consultation by dialing this number, 615-283-7291. That's 283-7291.
Quarterback sneak, and that's a Tennessee touchdown. It's a quick turnaround for the Titans as they look to get back in their winning ways Thursday night against the 49ers.
There's guys out there competing, working, and fighting for each other.
We'll get you set up all week.
You've got to be able to throw the ball down the field to keep a defense honest.
On Nashville's best sports talk,
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
It's the end of the year blowout sale at Social Furniture. Save up to 70% off Ashley Furniture. Social Furniture has truckloads of the best selection of furniture. Get your nightstands, mattresses, bar stools, sofas, and recliners. All on sale now. Come first for the best selection of furniture before it's gone. And you don't want to miss out. Visit Social Furniture on the west side at 5412 Charlotte Avenue. On the web at mysocialfurniture.com. Social Furniture is a proud supporter of your Nashville Predators.
2022 is just around the corner, and we want you to join us for New Year's Day hockey. Head to Smashville on January 1st at 1 p.m. and see your Nashville Predators take on the longtime rivals, the Chicago Blackhawks, at Bridgestone Arena. We can already see you in gold, giving us your best. Let's go, Predators! Tickets are available now, and the Preds are ready to take on their next challenge. Watch the young players rise up and the stars knock you off your feet. Don't wait. Grab your tickets today. NashvillePredators.com/tickets.
Parman Tractor and Equipment is your one-stop tractor and equipment solution and Middle Tennessee's Link Belt and Takeuchi dealer. No matter how you're getting there, start with Parman Tractor and Equipment. Rent or purchase a track loader, mini excavator, large excavators for your job site, or something in between. Their service and parts team will get your work site up and running in no time. Parman Tractor and Equipment will come to you for service if needed. Visit ParmanTractor.com for more info. Your Middle Tennessee Link Belt and Takeuchi dealer. Merry Christmas from the Parman family to yours.
The devastating storms across the region have created a monumental need for blood to care for the victims of this tragedy. Now more than ever, find it in your heart to donate blood and help save lives. Blood Assurance is the area's local community blood centers, and they have locations throughout Middle Tennessee, including Clarksville, Cool Springs, and Hermitage. You can go to bloodassurance.org/schedule for information. Give blood, give local, save lives.
The great Persian poet Rumi once said, "Either bring me more wine or leave me alone." Truly a wise man if you ask me. When it comes to wine this holiday season, the only place I'll be jingling my cowbells is Red Spirits and Wine. Red's simply got the coolest selection, the best prices, and a holly jolly crew that's always friendly and makes great recommendations without ever acting like some of those pontificating snooty toots that you run into at a lot of places. I love the wine so much at Red that I sometimes forget to mention all of the great Red Barrel Select bourbons, single malt scotches, tequila, mezcal. Heck, Red's got it all to lift your spirits. Not to mention an awesome 16-tap beer growler station and 3 nice cigar humidors where you can lasso up some of the finest smokes. Red Spirits and Wine is your one-stop shop for the holidays, and don't forget, Red's got gift cards too. Red Spirits and Wine is open 7 days a week at Highway 70 South and Old Hickory Boulevard.
Sunday. It's an NFL triple header with playoff implications. First, Bills Patriots.
Allen, he fires to the end zone. Davis, touchdown.
Followed by Steelers Chiefs.
Mahomes, throw it, pass, caught, Hill, touchdown.
And then capped off by the Cowboys and Washington football team.
Elliott, right up the gut for a touchdown.
It all begins at 11
on ESPN
102.5 The Game.
Hey, this is Pekka Rinne. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Us at ESPN The Game Nashville is your home for college football bowl games and the college football playoffs. Brought to you by 312 Pizza Company in Germantown and Central Barbecue. 312 Pizza Company is the perfect spot to catch every game during bowl season. And for a list of games carried on ESPN 102.5 The Game and ESPN 94.9, hit up our website at theGameNashville.com/bowl games. Back here on the DDC, Darren McFarland, Willie Donning, Chase McCabe with you. Chris Mason will join us at 1 o'clock. We're live here at Mercedes-Benz of Music City, 734 Envious Lane, right off by 40, right at the airport. Briley Parkway South is the exit you get off. You take a right. Well, you don't have a choice. You're going to veer right, and then your first right, and you can't miss us. It's right here. And we encourage you as we keep pushing. We've got about an hour and a half before we're out of here to keep dropping things off to help us help others, and we appreciate it. A lot of you have, and we really, really appreciate that. But if we could get more, everything is going to help. As this city grows, unfortunately, homelessness grows as well. So there'll be a lot of people, and the weather is supposed to be absolutely stunning on Christmas Day. I don't know how you want your Christmas Day. Some people will probably prefer cold and snow. I don't know, but since it's Christmas Day, well, we're not getting that. It's going to be in the 70s.
I know, it's
on
weird.
Christmas Day. But as Pat Sperduto said, what that means is we're going to have a lot of people that are going to be out and about to help, and it'll get cold soon. So don't think they don't need warm things just because it's going to be 70 degrees or in the 70s on Christmas morning, on Christmas Day.
Yeah, they will need it
because it'll
for
get
sure.
cold.
Yep, no doubt about it. So appreciate everybody for coming by.
It'll be like a 20-degree difference from today to Christmas Day.
It's just weird. It's this weather.
Speaking of weird, the Gator Bowl. Gator Bowl is trying to find an opponent for Wake Forest because it looks like A&M is out. I don't know how in the world you find an opponent on December 22nd for your New Year's Eve Bowl, but good luck to the folks at the Gator Bowl.
Yeah, I don't
think I've ever heard of that before.
No.
9 days out. Hey, you might want to come play in the Gator Bowl against Wake Forest?
I remember talking to Scott Ramsey about that with the Music City Bowl, I feel like last year. And he was trying to go through the logistics of actually getting another team. And as he went through them, he was basically saying, it's nearly impossible.
Yeah.
You have to have a team that's playing, that's in shape to play, that could test. That's eligible to play.
Right.
That could get everybody that wants to go there. I mean, there's just no way.
Yeah, because like a lot of teams have,
shut it down.
Yeah, they're done.
Oh, they've been shut down for weeks.
Yeah, so I don't really know what you do.
I mean, nobody's continuing to practice with the hope they get the phone call that they're going to go to a game.
Right.
In fact, I think it's going to go the other way. I think there will be some more teams that by the time it's time to take the field will have issues like Texas A&M is having.
Well, I mean, honestly,
which is why I brought it up early in the show with Paul Feinbaum about the big games, the semifinals. How much potentially could they be affected by a wave of COVID?
They have 13 players available on defense.
Who's that?
The Aggies.
They're
down to 38. They have 38 scholarship players right now that are available to play. 13 on defense.
So basically,
if it gets in your walls, it's going to spread. That's the reality of this, especially this variant.
What probably happens is if there's another bowl game that gets affected by this, if only one of the teams, then do they just plug in?
Well, yeah, but how do you divide that money? How does that work?
Right.
Who gets to have it at their place? Who gets
the
TV rights?
Right.
How does all that work? I mean, I don't know how you're going to pull this off. I mean, it's a great idea, for effort, for trying to keep the Gator Bowl alive and keep it going, but I don't know how you'd pull this off.
I think every bowl leader has got to be concerned right now with what we're seeing around the world. It's not just, the sports world, but it's the general population here. It's spreading like wildfire.
Here's an interesting text from Danny on our text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. What about pulling an FCS team that just lost?
An FCS?
I mean, they're in the playoffs. I see why he's saying that because
they're in game mode, I guess.
If you just want to have a game.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how that works.
If they're willing to go,
get Dion, Jackson State.
Might be the only. I don't think they're playing.
Well, I know they just got. Didn't they just get waxed?
They did. That's interesting. Scott says, being serious, a team like Wyoming, San Diego State should go play them. They just finished their bowl games, still together. COVID good, gives them a week to prepare like a normal game.
Oh, you mean just keep going? Keep going?
Double up and play a second bowl game.
If you're a team like that, there's money involved, you probably do it.
You might do it. I mean, you probably could find a willing partner. Hey, you just got done with your bowl.
I think that's
you want to keep playing?
That's the most interesting scenario of do you find one of these teams that we're in a bowl like that could have a week to prepare and they just play a second bowl game just to do it because the Gator
Wake
Bowl
Forest is probably just saying just give us anybody. We'll play anybody.
I'm sure they want to play.
But I'm sure the Gator Bowl is thinking the same thing. The Gator Bowl is a big deal.
They've been preparing, so of course I'm sure they do want to play. Actually, I didn't really. I was immediately thinking of teams that haven't played. I didn't really think about teams that have played, and now that that's been brought to our attention, that does make the most sense. Because teams that have been done, they've been done for weeks. What are you going to do? Tell everybody grab their gear, meet us at the facility?
Even let's take Middle Tennessee. They've shut it down. They just played, but they've probably just broken up for the rest of the.
Well, but it's a little bit
break.
easier, and because they just
first
wrapped
one.
up. But I mean,
Yeah, but
they
that
got
was-
the
I'm
teams
saying
that
if you- I'm
haven't
talking about
played
yesterday, like-
since the end of November.
Yeah,
3 weeks.
Oh yeah, no way.
Right.
I don't see that.
Uh-uh.
If I were a coach, I don't think I'd want
Right.
that.
I don't even know if I'd present it. You're right.
Hey, why not just do this? The Jags are looking for a win. Just have them play Wake Forest, and just
Well,
cancel
Greg
their
Wyshynski
NFL game. I know he
suggested
did.
the Jets, so
he said the Jets. It's at their home field. They can just do it. Wow, this is really interesting.
I'm surprised this is the first story.
Well, I am too. But
of this.
here's the other part. If this is the Gator Bowl, Gator Bowl is one of the bowls. It's a bigger deal. If this was the San Diego Credit Union Holiday Bowl, is it the same thing? If it's a,
I think we're going to find out. There's still a lot of bowls.
If it's the First Responder Bowl,
Well, I guess what you're saying is the Gator Bowl, there's a bigger payout,
Yes.
bigger stage, more of an effort
right?
to make it happen because there's more at stake. And I don't know, you're familiar with the Gator Bowl. Do they do a good pre-sale, or there's going to be a good crowd no matter what? I don't know.
I'm really not familiar with the Gator Bowl, honestly. It's a big stadium.
Yeah,
I mean that's not Orlando. The Gator Bowl's in Jacksonville.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're down there, I just figured the lay of the land of everything in Florida, all things Florida.
Florida's a big state.
It is a big state. Yeah, when you're going to Miami and you're driving, you get to welcome to Florida. You think you're getting close. You're not. You're not really close.
Yeah,
there's still a long ways to go.
Do you merge with a bowl, like if somebody else drops out, and call it the Gator Cotton Bowl? Like what? I'm fascinated by this now.
I am curious to see where it goes.
Well, we've read that Miami is having a lot of issues with COVID, right? Didn't I see the headline there? I haven't read into it. But I just suspect there's going to be.
Which Miami are you talking about?
It just said Canes.
Canes.
Yeah.
Oh.
That would be the Miami Hurricanes, I presume.
Well, they're in the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl.
Yeah.
Against Washington State.
I just think that if this will not be an isolated thing with one team in Texas A&M.
Right.
I think this is going to happen to some teams.
Well, it goes back to what we talked about earlier. What if this happens to one of the playoff teams?
I think if you're Luke Fickell or one of the coaches, you better be thinking about that right now and not, well, right now we're okay. Like you need to be taking precautions yesterday because once it hits, there's nothing you can do about it.
Nope. The man, the myth, the legend has arrived.
They don't start turning up until a few days after the fact. So you need to be on your guys every day to control what you can control, and it still may not be enough to stop this kind of thing from happening.
Yeah, because I mean you're not sliding another team in to the playoff. I mean it would just be if Alabama comes down with it, then it's a forfeit, I guess.
See, that's a good question.
I don't know.
Well, if you're Notre Dame, are you like let's just play the what if game for a moment. Let's say that happens. One of the four teams they get it and it's early enough. Are you if you're Notre Dame and you're the 5th ranked team, are you going and saying, hey, you got to put us in now?
It would take. I mean, it would take honestly. It would take. I don't know how bad it would have to be for them to literally pull out a team to pull. Like they were,
but
they're
I don't
playing
think they're
the game.
rescheduling.
No, they're playing the game. Unless literally the whole team is out.
But we just gave the circumstances for Texas A&M.
It's a Gator Bowl. It's a. All due respect, it's a meaningless.
But
it's
the
a meaningless
virus doesn't
game.
care if it's the Gator Bowl or the semifinal. I'm just saying that could happen to a team.
So you just painted the picture earlier that coaches be like, hey, okay, well, if you're not feeling well, all right, well, cool. Well, take today off.
Every school right now, I think, has got their own.
You don't think that isn't
parameters.
going on? You feel fine. You're fine. Okay, well, you're
but
fine.
It spreads.
Let's go.
But okay, let's go. Then it spreads.
Yeah,
it does.
I know.
Does it? I think we've learned enough about that. I'm not a
From
doctor.
what I hear.
Rumor has it. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Cooper Kupp had 9 catches last night.
We did. Thanks.
don't
thanks
go
for
there.
In their game against Seattle. That is a Rams record for receptions in a season. He has 119.
He's just got
He broke whose record?
I don't know.
Herman Moore?
Rams franchise record. I don't believe Herman played for the Rams.
Does Herman Moore have the all-time record?
For receptions in a season? I don't know. What is it?
Thinking about that wrong? I don't know.
I mean, it can't be much higher.
Cooper Kupp
119 is.
It's where he is now.
Well, Welker's had what? Welker's had probably 120 something.
Well, we'll go up to Pro Football Reference. While we look at that,
whose record? What?
Most receptions in an NFL season?
Yeah.
149. Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas.
One
That's right. That's right. Just a couple years ago.
No, it was last year.
Was it? No, it wasn't
2
last
years ago,
year.
I think.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Because he did it against the Titans, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It was coming close to it.
He broke Marvin Harrison's record.
Kupp's going to get pretty close.
He's going to get close.
So who did Kupp?
17 games
So who did Kupp
16.
beat for the Rams? Who held the record for the Rams?
Henry Ellard.
Good guess. Nope. We've had him on the show before, several times.
Isaac Bruce.
Isaac Bruce.
Nice.
Isaac Bruce. So yeah,
Herman Moore is now 8th. Just so you know.
He had the record twice in this day and age.
Well, today's game, changed everything.
It's a little different.
Yep.
I wanted to add one thing that Chase brought up. We brought up the forfeit scenario. The ACC basketball changed the rules to avoid having forfeits. Back in the summer, remember, this was a big thing. Get your guys vaccinated, or else we're threatening. They used it as motivation to get the guys vaccinated. We don't want to deal with this. So get vaccinated, or else we are going to consider forfeiting games. So they had all that. For the most part, people fell into line, vaccinated their players. So now the ACC, of course, basketball, if you go through your wave,
right?
They have now set the rule in the ACC. I'm curious to what other leagues do. They said if you have 7 players and 1 coach, you can play. If it goes below that, it is a no contest. It's not a forfeit. However, if you have 7 players and a coach, you're playing. You cannot just say, hey, we're out. So they're drawing the line at 7 players and 1 coach.
My team is on the court.
So get ready for that. I would have loved a couple of those games back when I was at Vanderbilt. I could have got some PT.
Well, if you were available, yeah.
If I was in the 7, they had to put me in, at least for a few. I remember Darcy Hornacek, Darren, back in the day. The Predators had a wave of injuries, and they had the flu. This was in Anaheim. And I sat with Darcy. I was like, Darcy, you're going to get a lot of minutes tonight. Everybody's out. And he looks at me, he goes, they'll find a way to get me 5. Sure enough, at the end of the night, the score sheet hit like 6 minutes and 49 seconds of ice time.
That's hilarious. Old Darcy. We'll come back, put a bow on the third hour of Darren Donick and Chase next.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 News Code Red meteorologist Dan Guthrie. Sunshine this afternoon with cool temperatures, highs only in the mid-40s. After today, though, we are off to the races with 70s for Christmas.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Gary Ashton here. Most people in Nashville know me as the don't sell without the intel and the guaranteed offer guy. But despite my accent, I'm also 100% guaranteed Nashville. I'm a guaranteed musician, a guaranteed dog lover, and you're also guaranteed to see me at every Titans and Preds game. Guaranteed offer means the Gary Ashton team with RE/MAX Advantage will sell your house for top dollar with no cleaning, staging, showings, or open houses, and give you up to 90 days to close. So there's plenty of time to find your next home. Guaranteed Nashville means my team lives here and loves it here. We've served Nashville for over 20 years, and we're passionate about helping the people we call neighbors and friends, which is why we've had a long-standing tradition of donating to the Vanderbilt Children's Hospital. If you're thinking about a guaranteed offer, get the only one that's guaranteed Nashville. Request a no-obligation offer by calling 615-301-1650 or go to GaryAshton.com today. Remember, Gary Ashton, guaranteed Nashville.
Hose and Belting Specialties in Murfreesboro is your local source for hydraulic, air, water, and chemical hoses, along with conveyor, timing, and metric belt needs. They stock metric fittings for both air and hydraulic applications. Hose and Belting Specialties stocks Parker hydraulic hoses and fittings, Goodyear Conti-Tech industrial hoses, and V-belts, just to name a few of their lines. For any of your industrial needs, call 615-895-HOSE. 615-895-HOSE.
When Nashville is in need for tire sales or service for their business, the Tire Man has been there for over 20 years to help. The Tire Man repairs new and used tires for construction equipment, dump trucks, 18-wheelers, box trucks, fleets, plus they sell new tires for vehicles of all sizes. When your company needs tires, call the Tire Man, 615-663-6040, where they come to you, fully licensed and insured, and they can't wait to work with you. That's the Tire Man at 615-663-6040.
Hey everybody, Robbie Stanley here to tell you about my friends at Jasper's as the neighborhood bar and restaurant to catch the next Preds game. Jasper's is located on West End Avenue and offers a fun atmosphere with a game room, TVs, and a large bar and lounge area. Plus they offer free parking. That's right, free parking on West End, and offer specials for every Preds game day, including $10 smash burgers and $3 bottled domestics. So come on down to Jasper's next game day for happy hour every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m. and 2-for-1 beers all day on Sundays. Just tell them that Robbie Stanley sent you.
Hey, it's Jared for TriStar Moving. If you're looking to move, you need to give my friends at TriStar Moving a call. At TriStar Moving, you'll get 5-star service throughout the entire process. Everything will be taken care of, from covering your floors, banisters, railings, front door thresholds, furniture, TVs, and more. They took great care of my move and made it as stress-free as possible. If you're looking to move, give TriStar Moving a call, 615-640-1219, or visit them at nashvillemoving.org/radio and get 5% off your entire move. TriStar Moving, my official movers.
Jared Stillman.
This show, if you're a listener to it, I think is educated enough to know what a good general manager is.
And company.
At the end of the day, wins really are all that matters.
Tune in Stillman and Company for your drive home. Delivered by TriStar Moving. Weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Interact with Darren, Donick, and Chase. Call or text the show at 615-737-1025. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
Coming up at 1 o'clock. We are live here at Mercedes-Benz of Music City. Gorgeous place. Incredible lobby. Incredible generosity by the listeners. Pulling up. Coming up with cash donations, clothes. There's bags of clothes out there. Nashville General Hospital stopped by with tons of stuff. Listeners have been stopping by our tent out front. Darren McFarland, Willie Donick, Chase McCabe, now the man.
Now, notice what Chase did.
Of course.
Let's talk about the move.
That was a smart move.
It's a really interesting move.
Yeah.
It on the surface was a very unselfish move.
Yeah, it was like, oh, well, that was
what a nice guy.
What a nice guy. And then what was the end game? Chase was like, yeah, I'm just going to go over to the massage chair.
Table.
Yeah, to the massage chair. Yeah.
Very crazy like a fox.
I said, hey, guys, I'll sit this out, all right? I'm a team player. I'm going to sit this out. And get a massage, but I'm going to sit it out.
This place is like an adult playground.
First
of all, the cars are ridiculous.
Yes.
We can all see that. But the people around here, the service, the massage chairs, and the Christmas tree, and this place is
waterfalls.
Beautiful. Waterfall. Get you
go to the bathroom. The mirror's got a TV in the middle.
That's insane. That is insane.
While you're washing your hands, you can watch some TV.
This place is beautiful, and you know, obviously Mercedes is a top product, and they try to treat their customers the right way. So it says a lot. Mercedes in Music City.
Owned by
Mercedes.
Nick Saban. Go look at that office. If you haven't walked around.
Yeah,
enough.
He may own it. I don't think he's working out of here.
No, I don't think he's working out of here, but he does sign the checks.
I believe that.
We've talked to him about it. This honestly, it means a lot to him. He's dedicated a lot of this to his father.
Oh, good.
It meant a lot to him. So you'll see that flavor. I know when we had him on SEC Media Days, when this place had just opened, and he sat down with us, and he talked about how much he wanted this to be something that he reflected upon his father. So because of his work ethic and what he learned from him, and So it's pretty cool. This is an unbelievable place.
Yeah. I mean, if you want a luxury car that's going to last you a long time, I was saying that my sister had one for 16 years. The thing was unbelievable. You know, they're impressive cars. Obviously, they take time, put a lot of quality into their product, and that's why it is the way it is.
That's all my father-in-law drives, but I can't figure out if it's because it's a great car, which I know it is, or if it's because he's a huge diehard Alabama fan.
Oh,
yeah. And he gets them from here. So
I understand.
You know what I mean? So I'm a little conflicted. Like, I don't know where. I think it's probably all the above, but he is also. He graduated from Alabama. He's huge. He's roll tide roll.
So Alabama equates Mercedes.
Yep. Wow. Yep. That's all he drives. So what do we need? This is the final push.
This is it.
A little bit over an hour to go.
We need people to take a minute if they can. We're grateful for anything and everything people have already done. And I keep telling you guys, 102.5 The Game. Mercedes in Music City, Yogi's in Creve Hall, Yogi's Pizzeria, Creve Hall, awesome. Neighbors stepped up to the challenge, and of course the individual families that have all come out and helped us, and most importantly, your listeners. I mean, they've answered the challenge every single year. We need, and unfortunately, I keep saying it. We need new. It has to be new according to kind of COVID rules. New sweatshirts, size extra large, double extra large, large, triple X. Anything can be on the sweatshirt. As long as it's new, it doesn't matter what it says on it. It can be an Alabama sweatshirt, which might be hard to get for a little amount of money, but it could be a plain sweatshirt. It could be an ugly colored sweatshirt. It could be a Christmas sweater. Anything that's going to help insulate and give another layer to a person that's trying to get through the winter. Fortunately for us, like I said, Saturday is going to be 72 degrees, so the likelihood is there'll be a lot of people that we can actually gain access to and help them prepare for the cold stretch that's about to come after this weekend. So we need sweatshirts, we need new socks, we need new gloves, and we need knit hats. And all those things provide a layer of protection. And all the meals will be provided by Yogi's Pizzeria in Creve Hall. So,
was this 25 years and running and counting?
It's funny. I was driving over here, and I was thinking about how it all started. It started with I used to drive home from school, and where I drove to get home, I'd have to drive Mass Ave. And Mass Ave is in Cambridge is a really populated area. It's the inner part of the city. And if I hit it at the right time, like 9 o'clock, everything's starting to close.
This is Boston.
This is in Boston, Boston. And I would drive down Mass Ave, 9:30, and as the stores closed, you saw people kind of gathering in those storefronts, the little, the cut-ins, and that was where they were going to spend the night. So I get home, and my oldest sister, Roseanne, who passed in a tragic accident, she told me, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I said, "You know what I'd really love? I'd love blankets, and I'd love to go out and give blankets to the homeless." So sure enough, Christmas Eve, we opened presents on Christmas Eve, and sure, there's blankets. She bought like 40 blankets for me.
Oh, wow.
And then we both got into her Cutlass Supreme, and we drove down Mass Ave and stopped and handed out blankets. And that's really how it all began. And then it went to, okay, let's try to feed people. And then when we came here, the first Christmas, it was my wife Laura and I. We lived literally like the next.
Is this when you were the head coach of the Cats?
Yes. No. I was the coordinator. I was the defensive coordinator of the Cats.
You were the DC.
Eddie Kayat was the head coach.
Yeah.
And we went to Subway and we bought 25 ham and cheese subs. And we went through our closets and we had a bunch of blankets that we had moved up here with. We grabbed all these blankets, we loaded them into a car, and we stopped downtown, and that's how it all began here. And we have been so lucky that, Willie Donick and his family joined in. Just Aaron jumped, we're in. There was no stopping her, so you just said, come on. The Warren family, another great family, they were in. And then we got lucky to get Darren and Lauren, and we've been grateful. Everybody that's come out every year, and it's been different faces at times. God rest his soul. Todd Williams came out one year with us, a former Titan lineman. It was awesome. Larry Keaton, who passed a few years ago, he's kind of like a legend out here in Donaldson, and I remember him running to his store and forcing the guy at the toy store next to his store to open so he could get some toys, because we had a couple kids one year and he wanted to come back and hand them toys for Christmas. And it's been awesome. The turnout's been awesome. The people that have volunteered and helped. It's not a titled charity. We kind of made up the funny name, the Art Paducah Christmas Miracle, and we've kind of.
I'm going to break out the T-shirt.
Oh, I know, me too.
I'm going to break it out.
Lauren wears it all the time.
Art Paducah Christmas.
This time
Miracle.
of year, this is when.
Yep.
In December, you'll see her wearing the Art Paducah shirt.
You got to do it, and it's that's kind of what we named it. So we've been fortunate. Everybody that's been involved.
There's such a great story behind that.
Yeah, that'll be next. We'll tell that story next year.
I know, but that's a great story.
It is a good story, and God bless him. I just saw a picture of Father Breen.
No, it's a great story. It's not a good story. It's a great story, and I would have given anything to be sitting next to you when that happened.
Well, it's but it just, that's kind of how it all began, and we've been very lucky. And we're just asking, just take 15, 20 minutes. If you're in the area, please stop by a Big Lots, stop by a Kmart, stop by I don't even know if Kmart's open anymore, Walmart,
There was
Costco.
I know that somebody dropped off, one of the listeners, coats from Walmart, and they're still on the hanger. It's
whatever they can, and it's whatever you can do. Just so you understand, we're not asking anybody to extend themselves. We understand that take care of your family, do what's best for you. But if you have $10 lying around, you want to get a package of socks, awesome. If you have $20 and you're running by Walmart and you're buying something for a family member and you see a sweatshirt, grab it. And just run by and drop it off, and we will make sure it gets to. And you know this.
Oh yeah.
You've seen it. And Erin, his wife, Willie's wife, is going to make sure. She is the fashion coordinator, and she does such a good job of making people feel like they are important. And I love this. Look at this color on you, and it just says so much that we don't want to take away their dignity. They've fallen on in a hard situation or through hard times, and we just want to give back, and that's what it's all about. And we get more out of it when we get back in our cars to drive home and open up our Christmas presents. We feel like we've already opened the best Christmas present first. So
no question.
Well said. All right, got an hour to go. Once again, let's give the list and our final push.
Sweatshirts or sweaters, size large or greater, socks, gloves, and knit hats. Anything new we can take, and we can make sure it goes. Sure, coats won't hurt. We can make sure it goes to people who need it for Christmas Day.
And if you want to stop by here in the next hour and give a cash donation like others have, we'll go shopping before Christmas morning.
Okay.
Does Laura know?
No, she doesn't. But she's got
work to do.
She's about to be recruited. I'm sure. But she doesn't mind shopping. She's the master of it was only. Has your wife ever said that?
It was only.
It was only. Or I saved us.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't save us. You actually spent a little bit less.
Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you, Chase. Hopefully you feel
he's asleep. He's asleep. He's probably not even going to do the last hour. Just stay relaxed. He is, I think, asleep. All right, Pat Sperduto, thank you so much. We'll come back. Final hour. We'll start things off. We'll see Mace next.
The voice of reason.
274 yards, 2 interceptions, 0 touchdowns. You're not going to win a game that way.
The voice of the fan.
I'm tired of let's just give it to a quarterback.
The voice of Nashville sports is your home of Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen. closer, bolder, golden. Nashville SC Stadium is arriving in 2022, and season tickets are on sale now. With just 150 feet between the pitch and the last row, you'll be right there in the action no matter where you sit. If you thought soccer in Nashville was a party already, you ain't seen nothing yet. So come on in, grab a seat, and stay a while as we open a new era of Nashville sports. For more information on season tickets at the new Nashville SC Stadium, visit nashvillesc.com/22tix.
Do great prices and selection on trucks and SUVs still exist? They do in Truckville. Sarah Chevrolet Buick GMC of Nashville has the largest selection in Tennessee. And we keep getting fresh stock on our lots every day. We're committed to offering you our best price and a 5-star experience, which is why we're still known as the destination for trucks and SUVs. Come visit Truckville, Tennessee today in person or online at sarahnashville.com.
Response to Genesis Diamond's fantastic 12 days finance offer was incredible, so we've decided to extend it through Christmas Eve. Last-minute shoppers, we're taking care of you at Genesis. You can come in now and get 5 years, 0-interest financing on any holiday purchase. All fashion jewelry is included, all colored gemstone jewelry, and yes, all diamond jewelry, including engagement rings. Get a $12,000 designer ring with a GIA center diamond and pay just $200 a month with 0 down. Or watch her eyes sparkle when she sees that $6,000 pair of diamond earrings you got for just $100 a month. At Genesis Diamonds, celebrating love is our specialty, and there's no better time than the holidays to let us help you show your love in a meaningful way. Don't miss this special extended 5-year 0-interest finance offer, now through Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas from Genesis Diamonds. Green Hills and Cool Springs. On approved credit, see store for details.
Touchdown, Boilermakers! Witness tomorrow's NFL stars this month at the TransPerfect Music City Bowl.
First down, hand off, tailback, right up the middle to the 30.
He's out of here.
20, to the 10, crank up Rocky Top. Touchdown, right up the middle.
Don't miss a second as Tennessee and Purdue, 2 of college football's top programs, go head-to-head on Thursday, December 30th at 2 p.m. inside Nissan Stadium. For more information on this year's game, including ticket availability, visit MusicCityBowl.com. Presented by the Tennessee Lottery.
Yo, this is Justin from Music Vintage. We're here to provide you with all your vintage apparel needs. Tons of great shoes and memorabilia from your past. We're located in the heart of East Nashville at 2503 Gallatin Avenue, where we do buy, sell, and trade. Got some clothes your stepdad gave you in the 90s? Found some dope clothes in your granddad's closet? Bring it by, we'll give you a cash offer. Found some at a thrift store and don't know where to sell it? Bring it by, we'll give you a cash offer. Got some new Jordans that don't quite fit well? Bring it by and we'll give you a cash offer. Music Vintage, here to provide you with all your vintage and shoe needs. See y'all soon, Nashville.
Nashville's best sports talk, locally owned, home of our Nashville Predators. WPRT-FM Pegram, 97.5 Murfreesboro, WBUZ HD2 Laverne, online at thegamenashville.com. We are
ESPN
102.5 The Game. Live from the Game Nashville studios, it's time for Darren, Donick, and Chase. With hosts Darren McFarland, Willie Donick, and Chase McCabe. On Nashville's best sports talk,
ESPN
102.5 The Game.
It's time! Shot broken up in front, and what a slick backhand try right in front of Chris Mason. And now the quick pass down the middle, breaking in, and the backhand stopped by Chris Mason. And Marlowe with a 2-on-1, a 3-on-1, and what a stop by Mason. Chichu right in front, and what a stop on Ekman by Mason. And goal, number
3, Chris Mason. We are. And if you don't get pumped for this interview every time you hear that, then what's wrong with you? Final hour, Darren, Donick, and Chase here on this gorgeous Wednesday. Chase has just had a massage while we were interviewing Pat Sperduto.
That was amazing. I need one of those.
That was a veteran move by you. Like, hey, we need a mic. Chase,
I got you.
He can have mine.
I got you.
It's like, well, that was nice of you. And then we looked over into the interview and said, oh, he's getting a massage.
Way to really
and
fall on the
asleep.
grenade there, Chase.
Yeah.
And he's
sacrifices.
Asleep. Yeah.
That's
great.
what I make.
We're live here at Mercedes-Benz of Music City. And he was able to get that massage courtesy of Mercedes-Benz of Music City because they have incredible massage chairs right over here next to our table, which we're not sitting in those massage chairs.
No, I thought about like if we had tried to do the show while sitting in those, there's
Probably
no
wouldn't
chance.
have, yeah.
No chance.
Well, there would have been no chance of us getting into any spirited debate because we would have been just like way too relaxed.
No. Yeah, Alabama. Yeah, what about
Sure,
Alabama?
whatever you guys say. That's cool.
Huh?
Chase, if you say the Dolphins are 10, that's fine. That's cool. No problem. Yeah. Oh, right there. Yeah, right there. Chris Mason now joins us. We probably put him to sleep with that conversation. C. Mace, what's up?
996, 900. Oh, sorry, guys. I didn't see you there. Just sculpting the gun, boys.
Not a good time for a pause for this team, was it?
No, gosh, no. You know, it was, I guess, these guys have been through a lot of adversity this season with injuries and then, the start of the COVID issue, and they kept on playing. They kept on winning. And, finally, they had to shut it down. So not good timing, but it is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. So if the only challenge is now you go after the break and you're going to have to kind of recreate something that you had going that you're right in the middle of, and that's not always easy. But, the mental makeup of this team, I think that they really handle these situations well. And, again, though, it's not something that's going to be automatic, though. They're going to have to kind of recreate that feeling again.
Okay, I'm going to really make you think on this one because I don't think this one's easy. 30 games in, your surprise story on this team is whom and what? 30 games in. No, I was just repeating it. Yeah. So what do you think is the surprise? Who's the surprise player or story 30 games into this start of this season with a 7-game winning streak?
I'd say there's a couple for me. And one is, I wouldn't say it's a crazy surprise, but maybe the development and the fast evolution of Tanner Jeannot. I think last year he came onto the scene. You're like, wow, this kid, there's something there. He can hit like a truck and score the odd goal, and he's going to be one of those kind of physical players that can put some pucks in the net. But I think the way that he's come on and made such an impact, and he's penalty killing, and they put him on the power play, and he's just getting it done. I think now his ceiling's even higher than I did before. So I'd say that's, to me, probably the biggest surprise. And the other one I would say is the bounce back from Mark Borowiecki. He came in last year, and he was kind of well documented, the struggles he went through, and you never know when you're a little bit older and something like that happens, it could derail a career. But he came back, and I think he's been unbelievable. He's a very unsung hero for this team. Him and Matt Benning, that third pair, has really solidified that. So I would say he's the other one that's been an awesome surprise.
There's a lot of good answers. I wanted to see if you would go the Tanner Jeannot route, but man, I didn't even think about the Mark Borowiecki. That's actually a really good one. Like I said, there's a lot of really good answers. That included, and I didn't even think about that. Man, I don't think anybody could have seen his play to this level, considering last year to this point, right? I mean, that's a really good one. Really good.
Yeah.
Been a steady force back there.
He's been awesome, and I think, the way this team wants to play, and I guess the way that I remember at the beginning of last year, he was a guy. He's like, all right, you got to come in when you got here to be physical. You got to go out. So I feel like he was maybe carrying a little too much of that weight around. He was running around and trying to, do too much in that department, and it was a tough year off the ice as well, and the concussion and all that stuff obviously is harder than anything. But he's just come back, and God, he's been awesome. He's defended well. He's even getting involved in the offense, gets it on the forecheck, and boy, oh boy, has he really contained his physicality to be within the rules, and he's just absolutely blasted some guys, and teams are scared. Teams are scared to play this team for a lot of guys, and he's definitely one of them.
Chase knows this because you guys had to skip out of the building and head to the airport right after the win over Colorado. So you guys were heading straight to Chicago. So I had no Skillsy, no post-game guest, because the players, you guys were getting out of there and getting straight to Chicago. So Chase and I handled the duties there in Patron Platinum Club. He came on with me, and we had a really good and fun post-game. And Chase knows that I brought this up to him. We started talking about it that night, and ironically, look what happens the next night in Chicago. But I said on the air, I said, Tommy Novak is completely under the radar. Like, one, we'd have never been talking about him in training camp or preseason or before the season. And he's been playing, centering the fourth line, and now he's been moved up because of their situation, centering the second line. And he's completely under the radar. And I said, that's probably not a bad thing either that nobody's talking about him. That means, because you know how this works. Sometimes if you're talking about a player, it's not for the good reasons, right? It's for like, oh, boy, what's going on? But, of course, then he would go on and have quite the game in Chicago. How about the play of Tommy Novak to this point?
Well, he's an interesting story because you're right. He wasn't on my radar coming into training camp, and I don't think really anybody's until I heard John Hines talk about him in training camp and saying he's one of the guys that, we're looking at, Rem Pitlick. There was a few guys of Tommy Novak, and I'm like, oh, boy. I said, all right, I got to go study up on this Tommy Novak kid because I didn't really know much about him. And he's come up, and he's one of those players, he's not flashy, but he's good. He's a smart, intelligent. He's always got his head up. He's, when he goes on the power play, plays the half ball. He's a good puck distributor. And, again, he's a guy that John Hines can trust out there to make the right plays. He never makes bad mistakes. He's always kind of making the right play, and he thinks the game well. And, you guys obviously talk about this for a living, and you talk about the great stories of Ryan Johansson and Matt Duchene and Forsberg and all those and Saros. But guys like Tommy Novak that have come up and filled a spot in the lineup and have done a great job are also a huge part of the reason why the Preds are doing as well as they are. It's the depth that they have that maybe we didn't know we had. And, that's a testament of him to get that opportunity. And obviously there's a lot of guys that we were talking about, Afanasyev and, Cole Smith come up, and a bunch of guys that could have been, chosen ahead of Novak, but he came up and he earned the coach's trust by the way he's played. And I think he's been very good. And I think we're just starting to see a little more of that offense come now, the more comfortable he's getting in the league. So it was nice to see him score that goal, that's for sure.
Mace, one of the things we got a chance to do with all of the adversity that the team had and the new coaching staff, the replacement coaching staff, for lack of a better term, Carl Taylor, Scott Ford and company, we got a chance to really get some extra perspective on some of these guys like Novak and all these other guys that have been in Milwaukee and paying their dues and just very quietly behind the scenes getting better and better so that they were ready for this opportunity. But that's what I really enjoyed, is getting to know what makes Carl Taylor tick, how impressed Carl Taylor is with what John Hines has done, and vice versa. So I thought it just kind of shined a light on how important that part of the game is, behind the scenes, just improving your overall organizational depth.
I think it was awesome. It was amazing. It was like you said, it's like a little peek behind the curtain, seeing the next level, the next layer of how an organization operates and the development, because a lot of times, even for us sometimes and for fans, there's an injury or you have a COVID situation, there's 4 guys in your lineup that you never heard of, right? So you're like, where'd this guy come from? And then it was kind of cool to hear some of the stories that Carl Taylor told about some of the players that we know, now Tanner Jeannot, Ellie Tolvin, and all these guys that have come up and to kind of hear about their journey and about how the Predators organization has put a major priority on developing the right way and the way that, they see fit and with the same systems, the same kind of mindset, mentality, way that you want to play the game. That's a big, big part of sports. It's more so in hockey than probably any other sport, obviously with the development and sending these guys down to learn the game the right way. So when they come up, and it's a huge responsibility for, Carl Taylor, who maybe some fans knew and some didn't. Now everybody does, but to see what he does, the pride that he takes in trying to groom these players and get them ready to play in the National Hockey League, and he's done a great job. And you're right, Willie. That's such a testament to the organization, and that's why they're able to. What was the term called? The competitive. What was it?
Yeah, ultra competitive.
Ultra competitive rebuild or whatever.
Or competitive transition.
Competitive transition.
The competitive transition.
I'll tell you, 2020, 2021. There's all these different terms that are coming to that. I can't never get them straight, but you know what I'm talking about.
No question. Let's also illustrate maybe the biggest key to the last 2 wins when they were going through the issues, and hopefully on the other side, the Predators will get pretty much everybody back who's been on the list on the 27th. Now, there could be some more added, depending on how the testing goes. We know that there's a lot of uncertainty there. But Colton Sissons, for those 2 games, was just phenomenal, just doing it all. I just don't think you can say enough about his performance there.
Well, no, you can't. And he's often a guy that maybe like Tommy Novak in a way gets kind of mentioned after, even Trennan and Jeannot, but he's kind of the cog on that line or whatever line he's on that makes it work. And if you look, throughout the last however many years of Colton Sissons' career, anytime they've had an injury to a top player, anytime they've needed him to step up and play a different role, he's done it, and he's done it in spades. And you look at the Western Conference Final against Anaheim. There's the next year when they won the President's Trophy. I think they had a bunch of injuries. He stepped up and he was putting up points and playing on the power play, and he's the first over on the penalty kill. And he's one of these guys that it's a coach's dream because he does everything well. He doesn't complain about anything. You tell him to do a job, he goes out and does it. And he's a great leader at every level that he's played at. His coaches, he's either been a captain or, as a younger player, they comment on the leadership and how he prepares to play the game and what a great influence he is for other players on the team, the way that he leads by example. So he's a guy that he does it all. And really, that I think it's a sign of a great player is when you need them the most and you need a guy to step up. And, you put Colton Sissons on the power play or you put him on the top line and he gets the job done. So big stick taps to Colton Sissons for what he's done during this time as well.
Talking to Chris Mason, Predators analyst. Chris, with this break, even though it's obviously longer than they thought it would be, as an individual player, what are you doing to try and stay focused, knowing that your team's on a 7-game winning streak, but also stay active, so to speak? Like, what are some things that you can do?
Yeah, staying active and not letting yourself, kind of just completely turn off at the same time. You don't have much opportunity during the season to really just relax and kind of recharge and like truly enjoy your family and the holiday. So I think that's huge. Big for when you come back and you're raring to go. You can't wait to get to the rink and be around the boys and practice again and go all in with everybody and try to continue where they left off. But obviously they've got to do some things and keep that fitness level up there so they don't come back and they feel like they got hit by a truck on the 26th when they practice. So, every guy's got their own routine. Some guys need more than others. And this day and age, they all know what they need. And I know David Good's probably keeping tabs with them. So I wouldn't be too worried about that. Biggest thing for me and when I was a player is to really try to, just be in the moment and appreciate, your family and enjoy Christmas and all those little things. Not little things, but sometimes it's easier said than done when you're in the middle of a hockey season.
With, looking at the other teams in the Central Division, you've obviously seen them. Who kind of stands out to you that maybe concerns you the most that maybe was flying under the radar a little bit besides the Preds?
Well, I still think St. Louis is that team for me. Like, I don't know. I'm not 100% sold on Minnesota, although they're playing a good brand of hockey, maybe just because I haven't seen them enough. But for whatever reason, I'm never sold on Minnesota. So that's one of the teams and I think the Blues have a really good roster. They've dealt with a lot of injuries and they've had a lot of issues there. And I think that's a team that could be a potential threat in the second half. Obviously,
so you trust the Blues over the Wild the rest of the way? Okay.
Personally, just from history and just, they've kind of been there, done that before, and they've still got a really good core. Tarasenko's back. They've got, all 3 good goalies going right now. I'm not convinced that Minnesota's got the depth and the team that could, if you're going St. Louis head to head. But again, I don't. That's just my gut.
How big of a surprise was the Paul Maurice move in Winnipeg?
It was a big surprise. I'm thinking, I don't know. Again, this is all speculation. It might have been a situation where they did, they talked about it as an organization, and it was a courtesy to maybe let him do that. Having said that, it could have been a personal decision, and if he stepped away because he recognized that at this point they need a different voice. I mean, wow. I mean, that says a lot about him and about the self-evaluation of the situation, and to be able to step away like that and to kind of own that. I'm not sure I've seen that in hockey before, but everything that I've heard about Paul Maurice from former players and people that have worked with him is he's just a great human being, and he cares a lot about his players and his team, and so it was pretty surprising, but really good post press conference there, I guess, when he was kind of saying goodbye. Really impressive.
That was nice of you to stay in the booth with Willie during the Colorado game rather than let Bones fill in for you as the E-Bug. So that was nice of you.
I have no choice. I was the E-Bug at one time, long time ago. I was there at the game. They got the old food poisoning game. I was there, ready to go with the gear.
I remember you telling that story.
No, are you being serious? You really were the E-Bug?
Yeah, that's serious. I wasn't. I wasn't a full-time employee, so I was the emergency goaltender there. If,
wow.
Mazenitz was getting an IV in the training room, and if he didn't feel any better, I was going to be on the bench.
Oh man, that would have been awesome. Hey, thanks for doing this. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Always good to talk to you, and we'll talk to you on the other side.
Awesome. Merry Christmas, guys, and to all the listeners, Merry Christmas to everyone. I hope everyone has a great holiday.
He's Chris Mason. He joins us every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Good stuff from him. Of course, the Predators are supposed to pick things up after Christmas on December 27th. Well, 26th is when they can return to normal activities, and they're scheduled to play Monday night down in Dallas against the Stars on December 27th. We will come back with a special guest here at Mercedes-Benz of Music City. He has arrived. He didn't get in the chair, which shocked me. I cannot believe he's not getting a massage, but maybe he didn't want to be too relaxed for his interview, but he's going to sit down at the table with us next here on Darren, Donick, and Chase, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Can the Titans offense get going and put them back on Santa's nice list?
He's going to power across for the Titan touchdown.
Or will Jimmy G and the 49ers deliver Cole for the two-tone blue this year?
Hands off out of the backfield and into the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers.
We'll have full reaction all day Friday to Titans 49ers on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Tune in to ESPN 102.5 The Game every Tuesday afternoon at 4:30 for ESPN's Trevor Maddich joining me, Jared Stillman, on Stillman & Company as we dive deep into the college football world and all the latest from the SEC. It's all brought to you by Houston Clinic Orthopedics, when experience matters.
Still working on that Christmas list? Hurry into Electronic Express for your last-minute gifts. Get huge savings with up to 50% off in every department. 4K TVs, computers, gaming, speakers and headphones, smart home, housewares, and more. That's not all. Get up to 40% off all your appliance needs. Plus, buy now, pay later with up to 36 months free financing. We've got the last-minute Christmas gifts you need at Electronic Express. We make it happen.
Hey, time to tell you about Lee Company today. 615-567-1000 is the phone number to always keep top of mind. Lee Company, even at this time of the year, always busy, ready to help you if you've got issues with your heating unit, with your cooling unit in the spring. They're always ready to go. Plumbing and electric, and that's why they've got the home maintenance plan all ready for you to just sign up for. If you haven't done it already, if you haven't taken my advice before, this is what we do in our house. It helps us stay on top of things, make sure things are running properly, and you get ahead of problems. In other words, you're not forced into a crisis situation when the weather's really cold or really hot. For the home maintenance plan, call Lee Company and find out about it. Small monthly fee, In exchange for that, annual free checkups on your heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing systems. And then if repairs are needed, you get discounts on those repairs. 615-567-1000 or leadcompany.com. Lead Company, proud sponsor, Nashville Predators.
The devastating storms across the region have created a monumental need for blood to care for the victims of this tragedy. Now more than ever, find it in your heart to donate blood and help save lives. Blood Assurance is the area's local community blood centers, and they have locations throughout Middle Tennessee, including Clarksville, Cool Springs, and Hermitage. You can go to bloodassurance.org/schedule for information. Give blood, give local, save lives.
You already know the best burger place in town is Joyland in East Nashville. Now it's your chance to work for them. Joyland is looking for cooks to join their incredible team as soon as possible. Joyland offers employee benefits like insurance, HSA, FSA plans, short-term disability, $1,000 baby bonus for anyone that is expecting or adopting, paid time off, travel discounts, $350 bonus after 60 days, and more. Email info@eatjoyland.com to apply now. Joyland is an equal opportunity employer.
Let's be real. Mopping is a hassle. You have to fill the bucket, pushing a wet, heavy mop around, then cleaning the mop when you're done so it doesn't grow bacteria. A hassle on top of a hassle. Try Swiffer WetJet. With Swiffer WetJet, you start with a fresh pad and cleaning solution every time. And when you're done, you just toss the pad. Swiffer WetJet. The faster, easier, cleaner way to clean your floors.
Tonight,
how about the jam for Tiafiel Leonard?
The MTSU Blue Raiders head east to take on Chattanooga. Coverage begins at 5:30
on ESPN
94.9 and the Game Nashville app.
Hey, this is Roman Yossi. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Here on Darren, Donick, and Chase on this Wednesday. Gorgeous day here in Music City. Music
what?
Smitty? Schmitty?
Smitty.
Smitty, no. Where's Crazy Legs? Crazy Legs here? No Schmitty.
He's in Boston.
Was it Jared Smithson also Smitty?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of
several
Smitties. A lot of Smitties.
Just take any last name with Smith.
Or Smithson.
Turns it. By the way, whose name did that recently hear? And I heard one of the players, and they said his nickname, and I'm like, that's really his nickname? Who was it? I'll think about it. We're here. Another cash. Here you go. Envelope. Thank you, whoever just stopped by and gave a cash donation. We are live here at Mercedes-Benz of Music City. Beautiful place. 734 Envious Lane. A little bit more time to stop by and help out. You heard Pat Sperduto there at the end of the third hour. What we're looking for, anything would be great. As the city grows, unfortunately, that population of folks who cannot help themselves grows, and we want to help a lot of people, as many as possible, on Christmas morning. So final push for that. Brand new socks, brand new oversized sweatshirts, preferably darker colors, coats, gloves, knit hats. I even heard Pat throwing sweaters, so I guess some people have been stopping by with sweaters too. A lot of people have stopped by. We really, really, really appreciate it. Plus, we even take cash donations. We've got envelopes courtesy of Mercedes-Benz of Music City. We do have a special guest who just kind of already spoke, so
sorry.
You probably figured out who that was. Ryan Porth, on the way out the door to Chicago, has made his appearance here at Mercedes-Benz of Music City.
Yes, I have. I'm here.
So is this your last stop before you drive the U-Haul?
No, not quite. I do have an order of business to take care of back at the office, which is handing in my key card.
Wait a minute, look at this.
Oh, Robbie Stanley is here.
And is that a Packers or a Gallatin Green Wave?
Robbie's going to try the massage.
He just came for the massage.
He came here to congratulate Willie for finally acknowledging that the Packers are in the NFL, and they're pretty good.
Number one.
Okay. Well,
back to Port's
the last order of business is handing in my key card, and saying goodbye to some certain individuals. So yeah,
it's here.
It is here.
It's always weird. It's always awkward when it's here, right?
It is. It has come very quick. I will say that.
Well, it happened pretty quick.
It did.
In all seriousness,
it all happened right around Thanksgiving, and then boom, it's happening. And we announced it last Monday, where I'm going to 670 The Score in Chicago, and Chase is taking over as program director. And
I haven't screwed that up in a week yet, so that's good. Still got a couple days, but give me time.
Way to jinx yourself.
It's what I do. It's what I do.
I'll give you until the new year, and then we'll see how it goes from there. And I visited Chicago over the weekend. Saw the new stomping grounds. Went to the Preds Blackhawks game Friday night.
Nice.
Luckily, the Predators were able to get that in. And short week here.
Hey, you heard the song for the first time.
Yeah. I know. I texted him that. It said, "You've never heard that song in that building before."
I know, because games 1 and 2 in 2017, Pecorine is the reason why I never heard Chelsea Dagger before.
Yep.
And that's not necessarily a song that I would put at the top of my list to hear again.
I think game 2 is when I punched you, right, and said, "Oh my gosh, they're going to win this thing."
Harry Zolnarchuk.
Yeah. I punched Porth right in the arm, really hard.
The breakaway goal.
Oh my gosh, they're going to win! They're going to win this.
The bruise from your knuckles is still on my shoulder over here.
I lost control, and Zolnarchuk's it was Harry Z, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Was that to go up 2-0?
2-0 in the second period.
Yeah, I was like, and my first reaction. Ryan was to the left of me, and I just turned and popped him right now. And I was like, oh, my gosh, the Preds are going to win. Of course, Willie would have been like, if Willie was there, he'd be like, shut up. You're going to jinx up. Why would you say that?
Well, Willie was working, wasn't he?
I know.
No, that was NBC.
Oh, that was NBC.
But I'm saying if it was him, that he would be furious. There's so much time left. How could you say that?
Peter Laviolette was right with me.
Yeah, we did not hear Chelsea Dagger. I mean, that's still mind-blowing to this day.
Heard it twice the other night, but also heard, heard Preds fans throughout United Center cheer 3 times Friday night.
So nice.
That's good.
I'll never forget another part of that trip is we go back to the team hotel because we do, post game. So we get out of there last. And when we get back, we go into the hotel bar slide. It was a huge bar.
It was.
And there was a pretty large gathering.
There was.
Of pretty important people with the Predators organization. And we sat down with them. They were gracious enough to let us and not kick us out and say, get out of our party. But I think we talked that night, and it was like the reality was sitting in. Like, you could just tell, like, oh, my gosh, like the Predators are the better team. Like, forget – like this wasn't like a fluke 2 wins. Like, you look and you go – that was when the reality of, oh, my – they're going to win this series. Like, they're the 8th seed, and they're the better team.
There were a lot of moments like that during that run of everything kind of becoming reality. And you're thinking to yourself, all right, well, they're going to beat Chicago. And then after games 3 and 4 against St. Louis, they're going to the Western Conference Final. Whether it happens in Game 5 or Game 6, they're going.
They're the better team.
And then after Game 5 in Anaheim, it's like, this team might go to the Stanley Cup Final here.
It was,
I remember flying to Pittsburgh with you, I think for Game 5, and I'm thinking to myself, I have never thought about what we would do as a radio station for a cup parade.
Oh, Willie, did you just hear what Ryan was thinking?
He's just doing his job.
Well, we started talking about it.
I mean, you got to think like a carpenter. Got to think 2 steps ahead.
Yep.
We started
twice, cut
we
once.
started talking about it. Yeah.
What is happening?
But I will say that 2-month ride is probably the most memorable 2 months that a lot of us have had here with the radio station.
It'll be hard to top that.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope we do, but it'll be hard. That's one that's going to be hard to recreate, right?
Yep.
Or top.
I mean, they always say the first trip to the Stanley Cup Final is always the one that you remember the most.
Yeah. We learned in Anaheim Ryan's love for potatoes. We did learn that.
No, that was Chicago. That was at Ditka's.
Oh, you're right. I did. That started in Chicago.
I have told Pete
right.
that we're going to have to go back to Ditka's when I'm in Chicago.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
when they're in Chicago.
You're going to have a little problem with that.
Well, I was going to say, Ditka's closed down.
Yes.
Oh, well, I don't even know facts about my own new city.
Because I said that to Pete. I brought that up to him in pregame. I was like, how was Ditka's? He said, I've got really, really bad news.
Yeah,
and I was like, what?
Shocking.
He was like, Ditka's closed down. I was like, oh.
Like close. Like it's
my
done.
goodness.
That's unfortunate.
Well, there's still a lot of potatoes.
Ryan ordered a baked
Chicago.
potato, which, by the way, Ditka's did everything big. Their baked potato was the size of a tire here at Mercedes-Benz, Music City. And then his other side was French fries.
I had a baked potato, French fries, along with a half rack of ribs.
Pete Weber could not get over that. Like he's like,
I'm going to be honest.
Like, he could not get past that Porth did 2 sides of potatoes.
I'm surprised that there's not like a delivery driver walking in here with potatoes right now. I really was expecting that, or maybe they're going to the station.
Well,
I figured
the
Pete would
best
do that.
was
still 20 minutes left in the show.
When Pete did it to the radio station, and there was a mountain of mashed potatoes in the room from
and
KFC
gravy. And gravy.
Mashed potatoes. And
Did he
gravy.
order a big thing of fries one time? He's pulled
He's
this
done
a couple
it, he's done it
times.
more than once.
Mashed potatoes and French fries. He will send.
Yeah.
To the radio station every now and then.
You guys were in Canada, and he texted me and he said, "Be watching for Ryan's delivery." And I'm like, "What?" Yeah? And it was.
You can still utilize DoorDash.
I know. It was like this bucket of fries or whatever. So how has the last day been? Is it you tweeted this morning you're a glass case of emotion. Now you held it together pretty good with the morning show.
I did. I think, getting after Joe about the Titans and going through some fun moments when I was producing the show kind of helped, not have me get emotional.
Yeah.
I will say there was a tear in my eye when I posted my post on Instagram this morning when I was about getting ready to leave to go to the station. So it's weird. It's weird walking into an office where the voice echoes.
Yeah.
Where it's empty.
We sat in there yesterday, and it was weird.
It was very weird.
So do we have something to play?
We do. I was going to see, because Elijah's installed him at minus 350 that what I put together is going to make him cry.
Oh, boy.
I think that's going to happen. But,
oh, boy.
I didn't know
what
if
time is kind of.
Well, I know, but I didn't know if there were things you wanted to do or say before we do that. So.
Well, let's run it.
Okay.
Let's run it.
All right. So you will hear some familiar voices. I scoured the archives to put together some fun things and also some messages that were sent to me to pass on to you.
Wow.
So here we go.
I'm Ryan Porth with your Game Center update. It's looking more and more like James Franklin will be leaving Vanderbilt for Penn State.
Oh,
great play by Scott.
Do you want to just take the rest of the period?
You're doing just dandy.
I promise you, Ryan Porth is not going to be able to turn that into a highlight. I don't care how well he edits. That's not happening.
Mike Guerrero down in the third base coach's box was talking with Brandon Mission about something. Now we're ready. And Richmond's first pitch to Velez is a curveball strike at the knees. 0-1.
They may have been discussing why Ryan Porth isn't a big fan of Dusty Baker.
Wow, you're going right at Ryan right away with that.
I don't think I've heard that one.
Here's the 0-1.
And good Saturday morning. Welcome into the cheap seats. Here on 102.5 The Game, Chase McCabe, Ryan Porth, Captain Kurt on the ones and twos. How's everybody doing today? Ryan, what's up?
What's going on, Chase?
Not a whole lot. They gave us a show.
They did.
How about that?
I don't know about this.
Well, we'll probably just have this one, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
But,
This is going to be a one-show experiment, isn't it?
But it's going to be a good show. I can tell you that right now. Starting things off, the Nashville Predators, the Peter Laviolette era is over. Or is over. Wow. I read a tweet as I was saying that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it. One game.
One game.
It doesn't even last as long as he did last year. He only lasted 3 games in Philly, and now you're only giving him 1 here.
You know what?
What?
I think the Chase McCabe era is over. No, the Peter Laviolette era has begun. Let's
It is the money line here on ESPN 102.5 The Game Nashville app. What did I just say?
Porth, just about every major milestone of my media career has been right beside you. In September 2010, the Nashville Predators invited me to join 3 new bloggers in the press box, creating what would soon become Bloggers Row. In January 2011, you and I piled into Amanda DePaulo's Ford Mustang and traveled to Raleigh, North Carolina, where we would cover our first NHL All-Star Weekend together.
That's right.
In January 2013, our paths crossed outside the rink when I was hired to produce the afternoon drive at 102.5 The Game. You were working overnights, a shift not for the faint of heart.
Kind of.
In July of 2013, we flew up to New Jersey on our own dimes to cover the Preds take Seth Jones in the first round of the NHL Draft. In March of 2014, when I left 102.5 for my current job at the Barbershop Harmony Society, you were running the board for Nashville Predators games. In May 2017, you created and I co-hosted the Post-Game Show, where fans could call in on those late nights during the Preds' magical run to the Stanley Cup Final. In December of 2018, we co-hosted an hour of radio from Predators general manager David Poyle's USA Hockey Hall of Fame induction ceremony. New Year's Eve 2019, we did an episode of Preds Insiders literally rinkside at the Winter Classic in Dallas. In August of 2020, during the pandemic, I turned in my resignation from the Nashville Predators Radio Network to spend more time with my family, but I turned in that resignation to you, my boss. Which brings us to today. Since 2010, we've started our media careers together, covered league events together, road tripped together, and co-hosted countless Preds Insiders episodes together. We each grew from bloggers to the big time, and we did that together too. I love you, man, and I wish you and Amanda nothing but the best in Chicago, even though the Blackhawks suck.
Hey Ryan, it's Jeremy Benefield, former program director at 102.5 The Game. I just wanted to send you a little note to say congratulations on your new role at 670 The Score in Chicago. You will definitely be missed here in Nashville. You know, I'm a big fan of the radio station. Even after I left, you took over and have done amazing things with it. And while you're leaving it in very capable hands to move it forward, it will definitely miss your presence for sure. You know, I'm a big fan of yours, and you will be missed, my friend, for sure. So good luck, and let's keep in touch, shall we? We'll talk to you soon.
Did the Rock play in this softball league at McGavick?
Tim Jernigan, the Rock, being the guy who looks over down at Matco down here on Cool Springs. Is that who you're talking about?
Yes, that's the Rock.
Yeah. Oh, Tim. How do y'all know Tim Jernigan? He's the guy. We call him the Rock because he's about as dumb as the Rock. Tim, I'll tell Tim. Randy, I'll tell Tim you said hi.
You know, on the knee.
Right.
You know, it's also just management of your load and all that. Your workload.
I can't look at Ryan Porth right now. He's losing it behind the glass. Oh, Rex Road, I love you.
The Pete Terry moment right there.
From Joe Rex Road here on the show.
I'm looking at Porth.
Okay.
I'm waiting for. I want a comment from Porth.
Yeah.
I can't look at Joe.
Oh man.
I mean, you did that. That's why you have February to look forward to.
Oh boy.
So
he gone.
Man, I don't even know why I'm getting emotional already. This
is going to be. This is an interesting start.
Darren, Donick, and Chase weekdays 10 to 2 will be the midday show right here on Nashville's Best Sports Talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game, and this is.
You can do it, Ryan. I believe in you.
By the way, Ryan, this is a prelude of things to come when you get married.
Oh, right.
So this is just look. If this is going to happen for this, boy, your wedding, woo!
Just wait for June 27th.
You might want to turn off the cameras for your wedding.
No kidding.
You're going to be a mess.
You are outstanding.
Every day.
7 days a week.
That's it.
365 days a year.
I refuse to be anything else.
You are always outstanding.
There we go.
Wow.
Had to put the GM in there.
Good stuff.
Good
job,
Elijah,
Chase.
you can cash the bet for
well
both
done,
of us.
Chase. Well done.
So it's no secret Ryan and I, since we knew this was going to happen. What?
I was say we're going to do another segment. You want to come back?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, let's
for the grand finale.
We'll come back.
We're going to hit a break time on your last day.
I missed that voice.
You're welcome. I'm going to save this thing before it goes south in a hurry. All right, we will come back and finish up the show with Ryan Porth. Right now I'm going to talk to you about DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. I've got a gift that right now will certainly put you in the holiday spirit. New customers, listen up. All you have to do is bet $5 on any NBA team, and you can win $150 in free bets if they win. Yes, just $5 on any NBA team. If they win, you win $150 in free bets. All DraftKings Sportsbook customers can also get in on the Christmas spirit with the holiday free bet surprise. Everyone will get a free bet up to $50 instantly as DraftKings gives away up to $10 million in prizes. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit, withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code 1025GAME and bet just $5 on any NBA team to win. And when they win, you win $150 in free bets. That code again, 1025GAME. This Christmas week at DraftKings Sportsbook, you must be 21 years of age or older. Tennessee only. Restrictions do apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and needs help, call or text the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789.
This is Mikhail Kraland, and this is Nashville.
Rebound shoveled in by Mikhail Kraland, and the Predators have tied it up on the power play.
This is the flagship of the Nashville Predators radio network, ESPN 1025. The game.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 News Code Red meteorologist Dan Guthrie. Interesting start this morning, temperatures ranging from the 20s to the 40s, but overall cooler air will be blowing in, which means highs today will only be in the 40s.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Due to overwhelming response, Genesis Diamond's amazing holiday finance offer has been extended. Now through Christmas Eve, you can enjoy 5 years, 0 interest on any holiday purchase. Everyone's loving this because it makes it easy to splurge this holiday season. A $6,000 pair of diamond stud earrings is just $100 a month with nothing down. You can even include the sales tax. At Genesis, we have all the most popular gifts: rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, pendants, pearls, and a spectacular selection of designer jewelry you won't find anywhere else. Names like Tacori, Viraggio, Kirk Cara, unique, one-of-a-kind, fashion-forward designs. So let our non-commissioned diamond experts help you pick out that headliner gift. Get the guaranteed best Genesis price, pay nothing down, and spread your payments over 5 whole years. Make this one unforgettable Christmas with help from Genesis Diamonds. Merry Christmas from Genesis Diamonds. Green Hills and Cool Springs. On approved credit, see store for details.
Spring Hill Heating and Cooling is here to serve you. Is your AC or heating unit old and inefficient? Is it breaking down yearly? Now is the time to replace it. Waiting can cost you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Just like everything, the cost of a new AC unit is rising. Effective January 1st, all manufacturers are increasing prices up to 10%. Get ahead of the game and call Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, offering 60 months, no interest financing, and 10-year parts and labor warranty on all new units. Schedule now at springhillac.com or call 615-778-8855.
Robbie Stanley.
That size and that speed just doesn't grow on trees. That could be something that you could really turn into.
Joe Rexrode.
Just hold out and somebody will call in the bad signal.
Get your morning started with Robbie and Rexrode every weekday from 6 to 10. Presented by Volunteer State Bank on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app. If you've missed any of today's show, just search Darren, Donick, and Chase on Apple, Spotify, or on your favorite podcast platform.
This is the end, beautiful friend.
Well, it's not the end yet, Jim. We're close. Back here on Darren, Donick, and Chase. Live here at Mercedes-Benz of Music City. Ryan Porth is on site. On headset. Robbie Stanley has made an appearance. Bud Walters has made an appearance.
By the way, man, the legend.
Yeah, I mean, we're all kind of dressed in the Music City, Mercedes-Benz of Music City. Like, everybody's got right? We kind of fit the theme. We look like we belong in this place.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
We got the radio
even Dennis. When Dennis was here, I was like, man, you look like you're ready to drive off with a Mercedes. Of course, he was eyeballing the one behind us, which was really nice. So, saved by the bell.
Yes.
As they say. Going to the break.
Good job, Elijah. Good job, Chase. Thank you. That was great.
Welcome.
And
that
thank
was great.
you to the Jeremys, Gover and Benefield for the kind words.
Well, you brought back a lot of memories, Chase, and it really illustrated, all of the roles that Ryan has gone through, just moving up the ladder, and you know what that's like yourself. But that's what I always say. I keep saying the same thing about both of you guys, but it's just been so much fun to watch you guys grow from the beginning. I know Darren feels the same way. We were kind of like Grizzly veterans already when we came to the station, but you guys were the young, wide-eyed guys that, just enthusiastically took on whatever you had. The cheap seats. I forgot about the cheap seats. You guys have done so much like auxiliary programming to just create opportunities for you guys to get the reps and do all the things that you need to do, all the while doing the stuff behind the scenes that people don't hear about and see. The amount of time and energy you guys pour into this place. So much appreciated. So we're so glad for both of you guys. But Ryan, we won't be seeing you every day. We can still razz Chase every day. But now we got to wait. Only a couple times a year do I know I'll be in Chicago. So
I don't have any backup.
You're on your own.
I'll be making many trips back to Nashville.
Well, that's good.
See y'all, see friends, see family. So still be many trips to this great city. So
I was trying to think of, Ryan, like, what could I wanted to get you something to send you off to Chicago for,
oh boy,
us working together all these years, 9 years?
Please don't tell me it's a Da Vinci's gift card.
Willie, you're spoiling things.
It's a cooker.
Like what would sum up like our relationship? What would sum up, our years together? So I got you a little gift.
Oh boy.
That go ahead.
Is it toothpicks?
Have at it.
Is it toothpicks in honor of Dusty Baker?
It's not. Another good idea. But little something for you on your way to Chicago.
Yes. I don't know if I'll wear.
Oh, good call.
It is a Dusty Baker T-shirt.
He knew it.
And it's got to be in Reds colors. I mean, it's got to be in Reds colors.
That is perfect. I will never wear this proudly, but thank you.
So I wanted to leave you. I mean, we've had
That's
so
a nice
much
undershirt.
We've had so much fun at Dusty Baker's expense.
Yes, we have. I knew Dusty Baker would come up today. I just knew it.
I had never heard that Pete clip.
That was from a sounds
was
game.
that from a sounds
game?
Yeah,
I was on the board that night for Jeff Hem and Pete Weber. And you know how Pete never lets things go, and he'll between you and Pete, I'll always have two people in Nashville that always want to remind me about Dusty Baker. So thank you, Darren.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for everything.
That. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It has. I mean, I'll just echo quickly. I know we're about out of time. What Willie said, it's been fun. I mean, I know Chase isn't leaving, but it's been fun for guys like us who've been around, the biz for a little bit, and to watch, because we were all there. I mean, we were both there, and we went through the same stages and the same things, and just watch your development, watch you grow into what you are today. It's fun to see.
Thank you.
It's fun to see because Willie knows this. More times than not in this business, they come and they go, and you forget. You forget so many people because they, like I said, this business. You come, you're here one day, gone the next, and you guys. It was very clear you were different than the numbers game, where they come and they go. You guys were different than that, and there was obviously something there in your work ethic and your drive and your people skills and just the fun that we had. Everything. As you now going to Chicago to 670 The Score to be the assistant brand manager?
That is correct.
And Chase is going to take over your role as PD here. So
you guys got Cubs tickets access to it?
Ask me again in 2 weeks. I'll have a better idea.
Yeah. Can we get tickets?
Well, real quick, I put the thing together, but I wanted to say this. I mean, we've grown up together, like literally, through this. And I told Darren when we got here that it's weird and it's just now setting in. Like, this is obviously good things for both of us, but there's never been a time where it hasn't been Ryan and Chase.
I know.
And so that's going to be weird. The first time I lean out the door to say, hey, what do you think about this? And there's just an empty chair. But I told you that my dad used to always say, leave a place better than you found it. And you have left this place better than you found it. And you've left me better than you found me. And I will always cherish our time together and our friendship and wish you nothing but the best.
Right back at you. Love you, Chase.
Love you too.
Group hug on the way out.
Group hug on 3.
Ryan,
right, Jared,
good
you can complain
Thank you,
about
guys.
something now.
Thank you for stopping by. It's good seeing you.
Appreciate you three, Darren, Willie. When I first broke in, y'all meant a lot to me then and still, mean a lot to me now. And, whenever y'all are in Chicago, just hit me up. We'll go to Portillo's or Lou Malnati's or grab a beer somewhere.
Yes. Done. Yes. And yes. And remember what I told you the day you hit me with the sledgehammer on this news. If we get wind of you in a Blackhawks jersey, we're coming down.
I thought you knew for weeks.
And we're going to get you. That was fun messing with Chase, by the way. I could tell he was mad just in the text. What? I was like, yeah, I've known for weeks.
I'm giving you every right to kick my butt if you see me in that.
It's not going to happen.
We've got it on audio, folks. Dusty Baker rules. Ryan, good luck in Chicago.
Thank you.
Thanks for everything.
Thank you,
and
guys.
You're going to knock it out of the park.
Thank you.
They've done well. You'll be missed, but they've done well.
Thank you.
Everybody have a great rest of your Wednesday. Couldn't think of a better way to end today's show here at Mercedes-Benz of Music City. We appreciate their hospitality. Have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock.
ElectronicExpress.com.